I'm Jake Sanderson.
I'm Tim Stützle, and you're listening to the Locked On Senators podcast.
Your Locked On Senators, your daily podcast on the Ottawa Senators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, Sens fans? Welcome to another edition of the live watch party presented by the Locked On Senators podcast. I'm your host, Jack Richardson, and I will just fix the background here. I just rushed to my computer. My mistake. There we go. Now we're all set. Watch along, watch party here. We're back with another one, another late night edition. It's 9 p.m. Eastern or just about. We're about to get going here. The last West Coast game, the last game of the road trip. Lots to talk about. Unfortunately, Jake Sanderson will not be playing for the Ottawa Senators for the foreseeable future. Week to week is the designation from head coach Travis Green. Their best player is out. Not that it should impact them tonight against the Vancouver Canucks, who are actively trying to lose. It's no secret the Canucks are tanking this season for Gavin McKenna in this draft. But going forward, it's going to be interesting. I think this is actually a good thing. Not that Sanderson's out, but that they're playing the Canucks tonight. They get a chance to maybe work out those kinks, maybe kind of ease into him not being in the lineup. It's going to be very interesting to see the way they deploy the D-core. We'll be keeping an eye on it throughout the whole night. Just want to let you know before we get going here, before we start teeing up this game that is brought to you by our friends over at the GCP. The boys and I are going to be there in a matter of days. On Saturday and Sunday, we are taking the shuttle, both games to the CTC, a back-to-back weekend. I cannot wait, folks. We're going to be there bright and early, 10 a.m. They have a brunch special going on, and then the shuttle is taking us right to the CTC for 11:30, leaving at 11:30. I can't wait to see everyone there. The boys said that there's some tickets still available for either shuttle on Saturday or Sunday. We'll be on both. I can't wait. It is the best way to get to Sens games. $18 round trip. Best way to leave. You get right back downtown, back to the GCP for some live music. It's a great vibe at the GCP, and the vibes are actually free. Fun fact at the GCP. So check them out, 779 Bank Street. We will see you guys there next weekend, or this weekend, I guess. It's Monday, March 9th. And folks, like I said, last game of this road trip, last West Coast game for the Sens. They are winding down this season. The road games are kind of out of the way, and this not this broadcast. I'm just watching the Prime broadcast. Much different vibe, which we all know we love. This road trip has been fantastic for the Ottawa Senators. Not much to complain about, to be quite honest with you. That loss in Edmonton is the only blemish on it, and they got a point out of it, and they still scored 4 goals. You know, like, it's not necessarily that bad of a loss, all things considered. We have seen worse this season, which is funny to say because they blew a 2-goal lead in the third period in that one. But other than that, it's been clinical. It hasn't just been wins, right? They've done a lot this season. I think the Sens have done a lot of games and had a lot of wins where they get it maybe late in the game. It's a tight one, one goal win with an empty netter, 2-goal win, whatever you want to say. But this road trip has been the opposite of that, really. I think Calgary has been the closest win, funny enough. And they dominated that game, ended up winning 4-1 with 2 empty netters. But overall, that was probably the closest one. It was 1-1 going into the third, but they waxed the Leafs at home. That game was over after midway through the second. Obviously lose in Edmonton, but that's a bit of a tight one, whatever. Go to Calgary, dominate that game. And then, yeah, they dominate in Seattle as well. And that game was over in the second period too. So really impressed with what I saw in Seattle. Again, the headline is Jake Sanderson being out. That not ideal, obviously, I think not ideal is an understatement. It's a blow. It's a massive blow with Jake Sanderson being out long-term. But like I said, this team's playing so well that I wouldn't be surprised if they just rolled into Vancouver here and kept their thing going. It's really going to be in those tight games where, you know, you need to defend a lead late and kind of the situations that Sanderson would play in most of the time. Obviously, Shabbat's going to get all that offensive time, but defensively, it's just going to be that D-core as a whole. I don't think they're going to be using Shabbat in a shutdown role quite as much. So all 6 defensemen, Matt Paolo is going to get in the lineup, not the way we wanted him to, but he'll get some games here now. Appears to be paired with Nick Jensen in going into this game. You know, they're all going to have to step up. Tyler Clevin, he struggled this season. His struggles really came when Thomas Chabot was hurt in December, or end of November, December time. If he struggles again, he's going to be elevated. He's going to be playing more minutes against harder competition. It's a huge test for a guy like Tyler Clevin as well. There's a beautiful shot of Vancouver downtown. Awesome city. I think Vancouver is one of my favorite cities in Canada. I think it's beautiful. I've been there a few times lately. And looks like a nice day, too, for Canucks and Sens. Obviously, like I said, the Canucks they're tanking, folks. This is a non-negotiable must-win game for the Ottawa Senators, and they know that. I think the last few have been, to be quite honest. Seattle, they needed to win that one. Calgary, they needed to win that one. They can get to within 3 points of a playoff spot. The Bruins lost in overtime yesterday, so we'll see what effort they give. I would expect more of the same, even without Jake Sanderson. There's Tim Stutzla getting dressed. He's got a 12-game point streak active going into tonight. Shane Pinto being shown there as well. He just had a 3-point night. And James Reimer getting the start tonight for the Ottawa Senators. His first start since before the Olympic break. I believe his last start was in Carolina, maybe. Let me just check to make totally sure. But it's been a while for James Reimer. And look, he's just got to go in there and be a backup goalie. Get the the Canucks are 3-16-5 since the new year. That is depressing. Wow. But yeah, it's Optimus Rhyme time. I'm just checking the schedule here to make sure I know when Reimer's last start was. Yeah, I think it was that loss in Carolina. That's right. Sorry. He won that game in Philly because Olmark was out with the flu. So he hasn't played since the last game before the break, James Reimer. So hopefully he's able to get them a win here. I expect, again, he won't be seeing a lot of action. I really don't. But we'll have to see. Feel for a guy like Chris Pronger on the panel here. Obviously not seeing his guy who he likes watching in Jake Sanderson. He's been very complimentary of Sanderson in the past. I know that. I'm going to have Pillsy join me for the first period again, like always, or like most times. I won't keep him around this time, though. I made him stick around for the second period in Seattle, and we ended up seeing a lot of goals. But Callum Fraser is back. Yeah, he'll be joining in the first intermission as well. It'll be good to catch up with him. He's missed the last few games. So I haven't really spoken to him since that game I talked about with James Reimer before the Olympic break. So it'll be good to catch up with him, get his thoughts on obviously just the devastating news of Jake Sanderson being out. But we'll go from there. And again, appreciate everyone joining us here. Puck Drop is, I think, close. I forget that these prime games are treated kind of like national, not like national, they are national broadcasts, but treated like Hockey Night in Canada a little bit. So it's a delayed puck drop. We're at 9:04 Eastern, and we got the panel speaking. That happens every now and then. Bit of an early start in Vancouver with the time difference. It's a 6 p.m. puck drop, or 6 p.m. there, but not for long because, well, I mean, now it will be. But they sprung forward for the first time. I don't know if people caught, or the last time. No, I don't know if people caught that, but the province of BC will not be observing daylight savings anymore. I did not know governments could just say, you know what, we're not doing that anymore. So that's kind of interesting. So after November, when we all do the fall back, when the Sens go and play in Vancouver, it won't be a 10 o'clock game anymore. It'll be a 9 o'clock game. And then when we spring forward, it'll go back to a 3-hour difference. But very interesting. So if you got loved ones in BC, they will only ever be 2 hours, they will be 2 hours behind us for half the year. Not much of a difference, but just kind of interesting. I don't know. The time change really messed with me on Saturday. It was that late game. It takes me a while to wind down after doing these, just in general after Sens games, but after these live streams for sure. Like, I'm all amped up. I had a late coffee. And then I kind of am sitting there just scrolling Twitter or whatever, watch the postcast with Pilsy and Martian, and I look down and it's 3 a.m. all of a sudden because of the time jump. So that really messed me up. But we're all calibrated now, even though it's another 9 p.m. game. But last one, got 7:30 start on Wednesday against the Habs, which will be great. And yeah, it's a big, again, it's really actually not a big game for the Sens. And I know that that's not a great way to tee up this watch party. But this is the easiest matchup possible. They're the last team in the league. They are ice cold right now. This should be a dominant game. I think anything but a clean effort from the Sens. Like I'm not going to say if they don't win by more than X amount of goals, like they might get goalied. You never know, that can happen, but it just has to be convincing. I'm expecting the same effort as in Calgary, who is the 31st place team in the league. Got to take advantage of the easy schedule. All points count, but the ones that you miss in games like this are a lot more hurtful. And I got to be honest, like this would be one of the best road trips the Sens have had in a long time that I can remember. Here they go showing the standings. They are currently 5 points back of the Bruins, and this is their game in hand. So it's a big one, man. Columbus lost in overtime today, which was another big one. There they go showing Jake Sanderson's injury. Yeah, the way Montour like finished was not nice. There's Foegele getting what ended up being the game winner. Obviously, it was a 5-2 goal at the time, so probably didn't feel like a game winner, but stood as the game winner after that late goal from Seattle. So nice little start to the Sens' career for Warren Foegele. I liked him a lot. I think the boys touched on it today, but the fourth line has some jump now, and I think I like that speed with Fabian Zetterlund. I like that mix, so I'll talk to Pilsy about that when we see them hop over the boards. Obviously, no changes to the forward, so it's really going to be the defense we are keying in on tonight. And like I said, because this isn't a high-flying opponent, even like Montreal, like it's not like it's a big rivalry game. I think it'll be great that it's this type of team they're playing when they have this significant piece out of the lineup. It'll give them a chance to kind of get used to the rotation, get used to the new partners, right? Shabbat and Zub is going to be new, and Matt and Paolo and Jensen's going to be new. I think Spence and Clevin are going to spend a ton of time, more time on the ice, I should say, but they were getting some more minutes. If you look at the last couple of games, they were starting to get a few more minutes than Jensen and Shabbat in some areas. Not all the time. They were definitely still a third pairing, but I believe that will now be the second pairing. It's kind of funny how it works. Like, I'd be surprised if they use Matt and Paolo and Jensen more or as much as Clevin and Spence. So effectively, because their number one defenseman got hurt, Nick Jensen moved from the second pair to the third pair, just by the way of how they're organizing their pairings. You know, it's kind of interesting how that worked out, but Tim Stützle hit 30 goals on the season, his second time in his career doing that. Just been an unbelievable year for the German. He is in Sens history right now, up there for multiple double-digit point streaks, matching Spezza and Alfredsson. But Ross pointed out, and he's right today, that Alfie and Spezza in that record that they both had, I think Alfie did it in 05-06, or maybe he did it in 07-08. Spezza did it in 05-06. And in one of each of them, one of their point streaks was just 10 games. So Timmy's now bettered that. They had a longer other point streak, but all that to say, Stützle's having a great season. That's just the way to put it. I just like diving into numbers like that. He has a chance to tie the season high he set earlier this year, which was from like December to January of 13 games. So if he gets a point tonight, that'll match that. His career high is 14 games. There's a chance to match that if he gets a point tonight on Wednesday. And obviously he's never touched 15 games. So I think he's got a great chance. And it's funny because I think Timmy, he's been playing okay. Like, really, I can count on one hand the amount of bad games he's had this season. I really can, in my opinion. But even in these last two, like, he hasn't exactly dominated on the score sheet when it totally matters. Like, he had that empty netter against Calgary, which was still valuable. You need those empty netters. They count just as much as real goals. It ices the game, all that. And then he scored a bit of a garbage time goal in Seattle. So it's kind of, he hasn't really gotten a point when tie game or whatever it is, in quite a bit of time. So it's interesting. Well, not quite a bit of time. I'm just getting distracted. Hopefully the puck gets dropped soon. We're 10 minutes past puck drop here. I mean, I'm getting impatient here. And again, folks, we'll have are people saying Holiday's playing? I'm looking at the chat here. It is a prime game. In terms of where we'll be sitting, I'm not actually too sure. I see what you mean. Yeah. No, they're getting going here. 12 minutes past. I should have started the stream a little bit later, but that's okay. What's another 10 minutes when you wait till 9 p.m. to watch a game? And it looks like we're about to get underway. Like I said, Pilsy will join me for the first period. Sorry, we're going with the anthem here first. All Canadian matchup. Another one. Canadian Armed Forces night. Okay, so they're going to do a whole thing, which again, I like these. I like when there's a ceremony before, no matter what it's for. It's always nice because it means a lot to whoever's being honored or whoever's getting, to drop the puck and stuff. It's a cool moment every time. I just like to complain about it when we're doing these and I didn't know about it and I wish we started a little later, but that's okay. We're 20 minutes into the stream here and the puck hasn't even dropped yet. But that's okay. It's quite all right. What are we thinking here, folks? Yeah, it's a nice hat. I thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't make it, but I got it recently. 47 brand. No free ads, but great Sens hats there. There's lots of great Sens hats, though. I just go through a revolving door, I think. But yeah, since doing the streams, I've wanted to kind of get good hats. So like I'm sitting here for so long, it's got to be somewhat nice to look at. So I'm glad people like it. I've been getting a lot of compliments on it. It feels nice when you get compliments on something that you had nothing to do with. You just kind of saw and liked it and then grabbed it. But yeah, that's where I look for most of mine. They fit my big head too. That's the reason we like them. I know Ross wears a lot of 47 brand hats as well. Reminder, if you're new here, we do these live watch parties. We will be doing them anyway down the stretch here. Started them in the new year. I'm loving doing them. The boys are liking it. We're having a great time. So people keep enjoying it. Just hit subscribe. We are on the road. Not on the road. We've been on the road for a while, but so close to 12,000 subscribers on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. You get a notification. You can set it up so you get a notification every time we go live when the Sens game starts, but also the postcast exclusively live on YouTube after every single Sens game, no matter what time. I mentioned Ross and Pilsy and Martian, the other night in Seattle. They wrapped up and it was right when the time change happened. They were there that late because it's a thing we do here. So if you want to get more content like that, hit like and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way for us. And yeah, folks, we appreciate it if you do. The like is to remind people who are already subscribed, because I think most of you are. If you're watching this, you're a sicko like me, already subscribed to the Locked On Senators podcast. Just hit the thumbs up. Really helps us out. Goes a long way. I do it all the time with YouTube videos. Just let the algorithm know what I like to see. I like every single LOSP video, including the ones I'm in. It might be weird, but you got to do it, man. Got to do it for the algorithm. And we're at 9:15 Eastern, and I think this was pretty cool, though. They grappled down from the ceiling. That's pretty neat. Brady there with Philip Hronek. Obviously not the captain of the Canucks, with Quinn Hughes being traded earlier this year, but he is their leader, it looks like. Very cool kind of full circle thing here. Like the Canucks and Sens played last on January 13th. And that was when the Sens were kind of at rock bottom of their season. They were on a 4-game losing streak. Things were looking bleak. And since that day, the Sens are, I believe, 11-3-4. I'll just triple check here. And the Canucks have gone in the complete opposite direction that they were already on before that, but they have completely gone in a different direction. The Canucks have. So let me just quickly check. I tweeted it out this morning. But then there was a bunch of Sanderson stuff. Yeah, so the Sens are 11-3-4. They're 6th in the NHL since January 13th, including that January 13th game when they beat the Canucks just 2-1, but they beat them. And the Canucks are 3-12-3, and they were dead last in the NHL since that game. So a couple different directions for either team, but what's crazy about the way the Sens have played since then is that record could be better. It could be better than 11-3-4. Those 4 overtime losses specifically could have been wins very easily, whether in regulation or in overtime itself. Really, like, even the regulation losses since then, it's that Nashville one. It's the one of the ones in Carolina, which they had down to the last minute. Like, they have been right there with all of these games since then, and they've been playing like their lives depend on it, and they kind of do. So I think it's cool to see that they've been able to kind of look at the skyline in Vancouver. What a city. I love it there. I've said it twice already, but I like these shots. And into Rogers Arena we go. Great crowd for a team this bad. Really impressive. A lot of Sens fans, though. A lot of Sens fans in Van. I hope they're at the game. I think they are. Oh, my. Eric, you're a beauty. Appreciate you, man. Looking forward to getting there. I can't wait. I love going back to Ottawa. I can't wait to get back, especially the GCP and the Canadian Tire Center. I just can't wait. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be such a blast. Really appreciate that, though, Eric. Okay. I think they're ready for puck drop. Noted for next Prime Monday Night Hockey one, don't start 25 minutes before or 20 after. Because holy. Ridley Gregg going in for the face-off, and the Sens win it, and we're off, folks. Pilsy will join me momentarily. We'll sync up our times, but the Sens are off for the last game of the road trip. There's Shabbat out there, and there's a bit of a slight turnover. I think it'll be interesting. It's going to be interesting. And here's Pilsy joining me right now. How's it going?
Good. I'm stoked for an Amazon Prime game. Let's go.
Reimer just made a nice save with his brand new pads.
Yep.
In the game here. Do you want to sync up here at the?
Yeah. So I'm at 1920. I just saw that save. Maybe we'll wait for the clock to get going here.
Yeah. We'll wait till it gets going. We might actually be at the same point, to be honest, with this Prime game. I think it's my first Prime game doing live watch party, actually.
Oh yeah, nice.
I think I might have been at a game or something like that, or I just missed it. I don't quite know, but all right, the puck is down for me.
Okay, not for me yet.
Okay, I'll pause at 1916.
Okay, 1918, 17, 16.
All right.
And we're off. Yeah, we talked about last game, Jack. This could be a spot where we see James Reimer, and he gets his opportunity here.
Yeah, I mean, obvious spot for him, right? If he was going to start one game on the road trip, even if they lost the last one, like doesn't get much easier for this. I was actually talking, Pilsy, about the opponent tonight, and I think it's a great game for their circumstance without Sanderson for the first time. I think it's nice to, again, it's the NHL. Like, they can get caught on a bad night here, the Sens, and the Canucks could win, but they shouldn't, because this team is trying to lose. So I think it's a good one for the Sens to kind of work out the kinks in the decor, especially the first period, just kind of work out those the rustiness, let's say.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would be a little more ideal would be if it was at home, then Travis Green gets the last change. But I mean, that's nitpicking. It's still a good opportunity here. And you're not coming from far, Seattle, Vancouver, not a lot of travel. So, that was close to a penalty.
Yeah, right there. And there's Shabbat. Yeah, like this. this is the thing. Look at these passes. I can't get over how crisp Amazon Prime is.
It's the best. It's not even close. It's crazy how they're so new to the game and they're just elite.
No, it's just the technology is so good. Obviously invested in different things maybe and been really great. I love how often the Sens have been on it. I think it's been twice as many games this season already and as last year, and we'll have to see. Like 6th in the Atlantic just feels not right to where the Sens are at.
Yeah, especially with how good they've been playing as of late.
Yeah, and they're getting close to climbing. They are, but also I'm gonna get to a point, Pillsy, where I'm a little bit looking at the clock in a way and just saying they're running out of time. You know, like how much longer can these paces hold up for either team? Because we keep saying Boston's bound to lose, Montreal's bound to lose a little bit, and they kind of are. They're losing they're winning at a slower rate than the Sens technically.
Yep.
But eventually there's going to be a bit of a sag from the Sens too. Like they're going to have a game where they kind of don't have it and lose in regulation, maybe a second one. It'll probably happen. So
yeah,
I'm getting a little anxious just about looking at the points and watching overtime loss after overtime loss for all these teams. Need more regulation losses for the ones they're chasing.
Big time. Yeah. And I mean, anytime you lose your number one defenseman, that's going to have an effect on your game.
There's Brady cutting out front.
Brady, nice. Tried to jam it there. Yeah. So, Jack, it's obvious, but it's worth emphasizing. We're going to be looking for Thomas Chabot to elevate his game. We need the goalies to elevate their games. Probably not going to have that same shot suppression that we've seen so far. Matin Palo, he finally gets an opportunity to get into a game here. Let's see how he looks. That checking line that's been so good and producing offense now. Let's see if they can be defensive while still producing. Like, there's so many different factors when Sanderson's out of the lineup. How can they kind of make up for that big hole in their play?
Oh, they called Pettersson there. Yeah, I was wondering. So he's going for cross-check. And Sens will go to the power play here. A little cross-check from Elias Pettersson.
Gotta be worst body language in the league.
Yeah, the last man standing in Vancouver. I guess Brock Besser's still there. After imagine you're Brock Besser. I think he wanted to stay, knowing the direction they were going, but signs a 7-year extension in the summer, and then they trade everyone away.
And he could have had his pick.
Oh yeah,
anywhere he wanted to go, he probably would have got that deal.
Matt Palo draws a penalty in his first game back.
Yep,
that's a bronze medalist, Nicholas Matin Palo.
Yes.
I feel for the Canucks, man. I really do. We know what this is like when you trade away fan favorites and feels like no direction. Obviously they still have their first round pick, which is nice.
Yeah.
But still feel for them. Dead last penalty kill in the league. So huge opportunity for the Sens power play.
Big time. Yeah. And we'll see what that second power play unit looks like. And I mean, the first, it looks like Chabot's just taking Sanderson's place. That's probably the right move, but how are they going to adjust on the second unit with no Chabot there? And are they going to go two different defensemen? Is Spence going to be the only guy there? Is Zetterlund going to get in? So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I hope we don't have to see them. Okay, that'd be cool. Yeah, Chabot, it's a massive stretch of games for his career. Let's be real here. I think you guys touched on it. Listen to the show today. I think when Chabot has played to his capabilities, it's really elevated this team. Look at this passing.
Big time. Timmy. That would have been so cheeky.
Yeah. The entries here have been great by Timmy, and here's Brady.
Yeah, this team's playing confident right off the bat.
Oh, what? I thought that was in. Kachuk in the one time. Timmy.
Get too cute with it there.
Yeah. Oh, and here we go. 2-on-1.
Okay, nice. Reimer standing tall. Save.
I noticed it when they panned to the crowd before the first face-off, but wow, I mean that's just special stuff.
Yeah.
So there's Pinto, Giroux, Timmy's out there late, but we'll see who else they go with. But yeah, it should just be Spence running it up top, I'd imagine, and then I don't expect to see a guy like Tyler Clevin out there.
No, or not Nick Jensen either. So yeah.
There's Pinto, Zetterlund. All right, yeah. The exact kind of combo we expected, I think.
Yeah, so this is a big opportunity for Zetterlund. He's going to get some more minutes here.
He is, and he's in that shooting spot right where we want him, I think. Here's Giroux. Pinto, wow. Oh, Fogel's out there.
Wait, oh yeah, I was gonna say, who's that extra guy? That's
So
Warren Foegele.
no Ridley Gregg, I guess. Maybe
Yeah,
throwing Fogel out. I mean, I don't know how much power play time he plays, but it seems like a good spot in the front of the net there.
yeah. I don't hate it too. Giving those bottom six guys a little more time, especially Fogel and Zetterlund.
Really liked Fogel in Seattle. As the game went on, you could tell he got more comfortable.
Definitely, yeah, and I think he's gonna fit in nicely here.
Ideally, ended up with the game winner in a funny way, but it ended up happening with that late power play goal from Seattle by most hated man Brandon Montour.
Yeah, he made the list, Montour. My God.
Yeah, like not a dirty play, but definitely not a hockey play. What he did,
The hit was fine, but he
Totally
didn't
fine.
have to use that takedown like that. That's where the issue is.
and it does happen more than you think. But it's guys get hurt because they can't protect themselves. That's why Sanderson's hurt. Like Sanderson gets hit probably more than anyone on the team. Like he's used to taking bumps and stuff like that, and used to falling every now and then. But when you have a guy land on top of you, it's pretty hard to brace yourself properly, and he's injured because of it. So kind of sucks. I know some people were talking about the did Matt and Palo just take one?
Nope, we're good. We're good.
Look at Timmy. He's flying early.
Oh yeah, he's feeling it.
I hope they have a bit of a point night mentality. You know, like that could be good. Not that they're not trying because they think it'll be point night, but they're like, I can put up some cookies against this team. Like that'd be nice.
Yeah, I want to see some highlight goals.
Yeah, and I think oh my God, Tim's getting a little careless though with those passes. Nice block.
Yeah, he is getting a little too cute.
I was saying that I think it was in Seattle, the Seattle one to you. I was just like, he's had a couple lately where he's just doing a little too extra, and then the neutral zone he's getting picked off or something.
Yeah, because teams are aware of his style now, so they can sometimes anticipate that he's going to try to do something a little extra that he doesn't have to do.
Yeah, definitely. So funny how the Vancouver, story. Oh, Shabbat just got pushed off there. Who is that? He's huge.
Ooh, nice.
42.
Yeah, that guy, I think that's probably Curtis Douglas, if I have to guess.
Yeah. That guy's a monster.
Former Belleville center. He is an absolute unit. Remember? Oh, yeah, that was so close. Remember, he beat the wheels off McDermott in McDermott's first fight, and Curtis Douglas' first NHL shift.
Right. That's right. Yeah, but I was just saying it's interesting that it's the Canucks now, because that's kind of when the Sens run started. Back almost 2 months ago now, January 13th, they won that game. They're 11-3-4 since. So
yeah,
it's been a nice run here for the Ottawa Senators. But yeah, Pillsy, it's just hard to be optimistic, obviously, without Jake Sanderson. But this team's done it before. I thought they were done early this year when Tkachuk was injured, and they turned around, went 11-5-4, had a really good stretch, gutted out some wins, and they're just going to have to do the same thing right now without a huge piece of their team.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to hope that Thomas Chabot can rise to the occasion. I think, like we mentioned, we're going to see Jordan Spence, who's been good all year. He's going to get an elevated role. Tyler Clevin, he had to go into a second pair defenseman role when Chabot was out. Didn't necessarily go probably the way he wanted, but he was partnered with Zub at that point. So now he gets to stay with his guy, Jordan Spence. We'll see how they look together, getting more minutes up against tougher competition. And then Martin Palo, he's going to want to elevate his game too. So you just hope that each guy can take a little bit more stacked onto their role that they're used to. And hopefully if you spread that load around, you can have success. But I mean, Jake Sanderson is such a key piece to this puzzle. I mean, any number one defenseman is, but I think Jake Sanderson is a guy on another level than most teams' number one guys.
Yeah, and he does more. He does the shutdown game. He does the offensive game. Like, I think the top defensemen in the league are the ones that are comparable to what he brings them. Like, if they take away any team, he's basically 2-1. And I think, I don't even want to look at this. This is the goaltending save percentage record when it's above a certain amount. Like, it's sickening to look at. I can't handle that stuff anymore.
It's crazy, but we got to see the goalies elevate their game. Like, asking for an 890 is a low bar, and they got to be able to do it.
Oh, it's right there.
Oh, that almost squeezed through. Yeah, I want the Sens to get the first goal here too. Like, don't don't be playing on your heels in a situation like this. Get the first goal, feel comfortable, stack it on, keep the foot on the gas. I don't want to be stressed in this game. How would I put it that way, Jack?
No, me either. And I think it's a must-have 2 points, and they know that. They've been playing that way the last little bit. I think we were emphasizing a lot, like, oh, it's a big game here for the Sens, but more and more game by game here as they've gone on, like they are clearly aware of that. And I think they're doing what they did last year. They turned it on down the stretch last season in March and really solidified that spot. It's just a bit of a different story this season in terms of the whole conference. So it feels like they're out of it more than they are, but they are right in the mix. I haven't done the math. I just looking at the schedule, basically. I haven't looked at it yet. They have a lot more home games than road games, though, after this one, because this is a 5-game road trip out of the way. I almost want to say it's a 60, like 2/3 of their games left are at home. It could be that. So huge opportunity for them to take advantage of that after this game.
Yeah, and after this, Jack, they don't have any more road games in the West.
Nope.
So that's huge for them. And you got a lot of divisional teams, especially in April. 4 of the 8 are up against Atlantic Division teams, 2 of them being Tampa and Buffalo. So it's not going to be easy moving forward, but it's the right teams and the right schedule where if you work hard, you're going to earn big points up against teams that you're competing against. And the Senators have to stop, and us as a fan base have to stop expecting other teams to do us favors, because it just is not happening.
Well, I will say they do need that to happen, though. Like down the stretch, it's a non-negotiable to make the playoffs. They need to win more than Boston and Columbus, and maybe Columbus, but definitely more than Boston. The problem is they don't play those 2 teams. That's the only 2 they don't play. Perfect schedule would have been a couple more games against them. They took care of business against them, 2-1 against Columbus, 3-0-1 against Boston. So at the end of the day, they did their job and made it a tighter race overall. But at that time, those games were not playoff race games in our minds. I think they played Boston 3 times in November and December.
Yeah, they played Boston a bunch early.
They did. And they looked great against them. They routed them twice, and it's good puck possession here. I just want to see some goals again, man. Saturday was so fun.
So good, yeah.
Losing track of all the goals. I also did love too, because they obviously went back in the room and probably saw Sanderson or had some idea of how he was doing. And I know that post game Pinto said that like we're praying for him, and I was just like, dude,
that's never good.
Don't give us that. But
yeah,
their response in the third was great. They came out and scored 3 quick goals. Like they weren't fazed by it, and I don't think they're having a bad start in this one either. Like they're kind of just doing their thing right now.
Yeah,
Kachuk's been a bit more noticeable.
Oh. Yeah, he's had a couple shots already.
What's interesting about the D pairings with Sanderson out, they go Shabbat, Zub, and then Clevin and Spence stay together. So I think that's their second pairing now. Like it took Sanderson getting injured for Jensen to get kind of demoted, but I think that'll be their third pairing in Jensen and Matt and Paolo.
Yeah, I think so. And Clevin Jensen is not a good pair. Clevin Zub is not a good pair. So they needed to keep those 2 guys together.
So this is big picture, Pillsy, but if things and it'll be a shorter time together tonight because Callum's going to join me in the first intermission again. So nice. I won't keep you for 2 periods again.
Hey, no worries.
But I want to bring up a nice chance there. I wanted to bring up if they kind of falter here in the early days without Jake Sanderson, you know what I'm going to be calling for.
I don't.
It won't take much. I'll put it that way. It won't take much. It will take a couple bad games for me to start banging that drum.
We'll see. I think the big issue is the lefty-righty thing. I think Travis Green is going to want to get that in the mix. That's why Gilbert was called up. I know Martin Paolo is playing. He's a righty, and they got 2 righties on that bottom pair. But I don't know if losing a Jake Sanderson, if bringing up a fresh, poor defensively rookie defenseman that shoots the other way is going to be your answer. But I wouldn't be against, like, as long as they don't play more than 9 games, I'm actually not upset with if they give him an opportunity, especially now considering the circumstances. But I will say I'm not expecting him to be the savior or to be the answer.
I'm saying if the power play goes 0 for 3 in games, like if they don't score in 3 games with Shabbat up there, I'm thinking about it if it costs them games. Like, he is a power play specialist. That's what he's going to do when he's in the NHL. Not to say that he's not, like, you know what I'm talking about. I think he's fine. That dash, whatever it is brutal.
Yep.
But plus minus isn't everything. Jake Sanderson was minus 14 last season, and he was awesome defensively. So I'm not looking into it too much. It's just I think it'll raise some eyebrows if they call him up after this season. But like, I'm seeing some people say they'd be surprised if he makes the team next season, and I'm in the complete opposite camp. I think we're at a point like got to trade him if he's not going to be able to crack that roster, that decor. Yeah. That's a whole other discussion. I'm just like, use him as an asset kind of thing. The thing I could see is like, the fit might not be there now, especially without Sanderson. I think perfect world, his first couple games, he's with Sanderson.
That's the thing too. Yeah.
So I get that, but
implement him.
It's really just for that game breaking offensive talent. Not that Jake Sanderson's offense is going to break games, but when you're missing that offense from your fourth best scorer, you got to get it from somewhere else on the blue line. And if Shabbat isn't able to cut it in the next few games, like by the weekend, by our games, Pilsy, if they're kind of struggling, like, I really wouldn't hate seeing Carter Yakimchuk get a look at some point.
Yeah, and especially now, like Belleville is so done, over. Yeah. So it's not like you're like, let's keep him down there for a playoff push so he can get into some meaningful games. That's just not a reality anymore. So that aspect is gone. Yeah, it'd be fun to see him for a couple games.
I just want to see him.
I'm not fully on your side of the line here, Jack, but I could dip my toe over there for a little bit.
I really think, and Callum actually made this comparison a while ago when we were talking about Yakimchuk. He probably has a lot of the Thomas Chabot going on right now. And that's just Chabot, when he was on the Sens early in his career, was great offensively, wasn't known as a defensive defenseman. So he struggled in a lot of areas, but he was also on terrible teams, right?
Yeah,
so
bad, yeah.
You look at the context of Belleville as a whole. I know Yakimchuk's plus minus is much worse than anyone else, but I think that he's kind of as a result here of a team with terrible goaltending. Audio, they've had a lot of looks right in front of the net tonight. But I think he's just a product of playing on a bad team, being the number one defenseman. I really do.
Yeah, it's definitely a part of it. Where I'll say there is some difference, though, in the Chabot-Yakimchuk comparison is Yak doesn't have that skating ability that Thomas Chabot has and has always had. And that can get you out of a lot of trouble when you're a bit of a riverboat gambler defenseman. But Yak's got much better hands.
He's got better hands. Like, Chabot's an offensive defenseman in his own way, but Yak's got some bite to him, man. He's big, He's physical, he's not shy of that stuff. So what he lacks in foot speed, maybe he's not shy from physicality. So he's not like that'll hurt him.
He's got range and he's got a big shot. So he's got ways to make up for what he lacks in foot speed and let's call it defensive play.
I just think because at some point he's going to have to play in games that matter, right? This team's not expected to take a step back in any of the next few seasons. That would be a disaster. They're going to compete. They're going to be trying to win now. So if your plan is to keep him and develop him, like, he's going to need to learn to play in some of those games, and no better opportunity now when you're down your best defenseman to add your top prospect to those situations and not necessarily be the guy, but maybe get a look. Now, perfect world, they don't need him because they don't miss a beat, don't skip a beat, but it just got to be an option in the back of their head because they struggled without Chabot and they didn't even
big time
call anyone up, I don't think.
No, it didn't. Oh,
I'm not liking how Lankin is looking. Whoa, what is this?
Get away from Timmy.
Why are we going after Timmy? I don't know what happened there. That was kind of out of the blue.
I don't know why. Oh, yeah, why he went for Timmy there, yeah.
In the middle of the ice or something?
I don't know.
Oh, here we go. For the little slash?
That was nothing.
Really?
Huh. Hey, when you're not doing so well, those little slashes, they hurt your pride more than physically.
Whoa.
Ooh, Reimer, okay.
Let's just take it easy here. Some miscommunication with the defenseman, I think. This is Reimer's first game since the last game before the break.
Yeah, so we're looking at weeks here since he's played. I mean,
over a month.
Full month, yeah.
Yeah, over a month, yeah. Timmy's on pace for 40 goals, apparently.
Oh, it'd be so nice for him to get 40 because him getting 39, still very good, but it doesn't hit the same as 40.
I'm envisioning a 40th goal to send this team to the playoffs. That'd be so cool.
Poetic.
He's already joined Alfie and Spezza in a couple historic categories this season, and I think being the first 40 goal scorer since one of those guys would be a cherry on top to the season Tim Stützle's having. He's been phenomenal.
Big time. Yeah, it's been too long.
But it just goes to show he's like around the league, like how special a 40 goal scorer is. Like it's hard to find, man. And there's a lot more of them these days, but when it happens, you got to cling on to those guys because they don't grow on trees.
Big time. Yep.
Oh, here we go. Nice play by Amadio.
Yeah, this third line stays hot. Yeah, and especially Jack, because it's not like Timmy is just sold out offensively to score more goals. If anything, he's become a much better defensive player, and he's still finding ways to score. So it's a real credit to what he's done this season.
His two-way game has come such a long way, and that's why I've been on until Pinto had a 3-point night the other game was to limit minutes for Pinto in those tougher matchups because I think Timmy can handle it. And he's still got to learn a lot of that defensive side, but there's some, I don't want to say Selke, like he's not the best defensive forward in the league, but there's a lot of that in his game, man. Like he competes, he hits, he plays that kind of game when he doesn't have the puck on his stick. Like he's not the typical, European player who's like, I need my points. I got the tinted visor or whatever. Like he's got this stereotype, and the embellishing maybe didn't help, but he's a star and he's so good at every end of the ice. That's why we love him. And I think you're right. He hasn't sacrificed defense for offense. In fact, it's been the opposite, actually. Like last season, he sacrificed offense for defense, for sure. He went on some long slumps figuring out that side of the puck. But it's come to fruition this season.
Yeah, and I think making the playoffs and seeing like, okay, I have to understand that I know I'm a playmaker, but I've got a shot. I need to be more selfish. I need to shoot it for the betterment of the team. I need to be scoring more than I am. I can't be doing these drop passes on breakaways or those extra passes on a 2-on-1 when I can just tap it in backdoor. Like, I think there's maturity in realizing that sometimes being selfish is the right thing to do. And it sounds like a backwards thing to say and a weird concept, but like, think about Four Nations face-off. John Cooper on the bench is yelling, somebody's got to be effing selfish here and shoot that puck. And someone's got to do it. And when you've got the talent to do it, you have to put it upon yourself to be like, I got to be that guy. I got to take the reins here and take control and score more. And Timmy's done such a good job of that this season.
I think it's crazy because last season, after I think on his end of season press conference, he said after the playoff series, he's like, I want to shoot the puck more. That was his mandate. All summer we were saying it. They don't go out and get a big piece to address scoring. And Steos kind of outright says like it's up to our guys internally to figure that out. Lo and behold, they're a top 5 team in 5-on-5 goal scoring now, and Tim Stützle is leading the way. It's crazy. I remember I jumped on with you guys at the end of August or beginning of September, just talking about what was my big storyline going in. And I said goal scoring, and I said Timmy. If Timmy can become that superstar, that's huge for this rebuild. And he's doing it right in front of our eyes, man. It's excellent to watch, and I just think he's scratching the surface. Any year he's got 30 goals, I think is successful for him goal scoring wise.
Agreed.
With the amount he carries the puck and being a pass first kind of guy. Like a lot of people point to the 100-point plateau, but he's going to get his assists all the time. I just think 30 goals is a good benchmark for Timmy, and he's hit that this season for the second time in his career.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so let's see if he can get one tonight, extend that point streak. Ross predicted a goal and an assist tonight for Timmy, so let's see it.
Be nice. He's been all over it early here, and here's Cousins with a bit of a look.
This has been a bit of a low event game so far.
Yeah, their chances, they've just been bringing it right to the house. Vancouver's letting them walk right in, and I think eventually one of those will go in, but yeah, not much to complain about with this start. Just got to find a way to score.
Yeah, and it definitely favors the Sens if they play this style game. Oh, Zoo got rocked. You don't see that often.
No.
Because Vancouver's they got to hope the Sens make mistakes and they got to pounce on it. Like, that's going to be their game.
So that's a little minor example right there of Shabbat maybe just not being the same as Sanderson. He was way back there in that neutral zone, and I think Sanderson's up on the blue line there.
Yep.
closing that gap. I think Ross mentioned today how good his gap control is. Yeah.
Or Jack, if Sanderson is up a little ahead, he can use his feet to get back even better than like Shabbat's a great skater. We already talked about it, but no one skates like Sanderson, honestly.
No, I mentioned, I think last game, Sanderson's skating style is a bit more choppy, but his speed is remarkable. And Shabbat's a very graceful skater, but yeah, he's not the quickest. Not the agility is not quite there for Shabbat.
It's more the built up momentum speeds through smooth strides that Shabbat gets, whereas Sanderson, it's immediate acceleration.
Yeah, it's remarkable to watch. I already miss watching him play, man. It's been not even 20 minutes, and I miss number 85 out there. I'm rattled we don't get to see him live because he's a treat to watch live.
Like I'm going back-to-back games in Ottawa. I got my bachelor party in Tampa, and I probably won't get to see Sanderson for any of those games, which is just heartbreaking.
Well, the one in Tampa, that's the one at the end of March, right? That's that'll be 3 weeks to the day of the injury, which would be, if it's week to week here, then maybe.
Yeah, I'm praying for that.
Because if it's not that, then we're looking at a month out, and I feel like Green would have said something different if it was going to be that long. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
Week to week is a weird term, though. Like that doesn't necessarily mean less than 4 weeks. Like,
yeah,
you would think it would be, but it doesn't. It's not black and white like that.
And quite honestly, I think a lot of the time people complain because they want to know the exact timeline.
Yeah.
And it could just be that the team doesn't know, right? I think you guys are talking about how Sanderson's a mutant and he'll recover maybe quicker than anyone else. So maybe it is a bit shorter and they don't want to give a timeline and then he comes back early and we're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Or the other way around. He doesn't meet that timeline. Look at Timmy.
Oh doing it all on his own. Oh
God, man. This guy's incredible.
Whew.
I think his highlight reel.
Oh yeah, they're going to be going after Timmy here. He's got to be careful he doesn't let it get to him.
He's already looking at the ref.
And
that's usually here we go.
There. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, he tried to bridge him. Shabbat?
Make him pay on the score sheet here.
Ugh. I mean, this is the thing with the Sens. If you want to play this game, like here we go. Like they're equipped to play this way, and I don't think that this will favor the Canucks in any way.
No.
I was gonna say I feel like Timmy's highlight reel of goals that don't go in is very good.
Yes, big time, which is too bad. I mean, he's got a good highlight reel of goals that do go into. Let's not discredit it.
Yeah. He scored some nice ones this season. I don't know what's my favorite one's been of the 30 so far. Like the one,
my favorite one, but I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. So we won't talk about it. We won't. That game never happened.
Put that on a TSN top 10 highlight pack without full context, and it's so good.
Oh, it just rolled on him at the end. Could have been a trip on Lankinen too. Yeah, going at it with Hoglander. That like he tried to bridge him.
Yeah,
hate that. This is why, like, I just like he doesn't back down from that stuff. I love it. No. Like, it's one thing to show frustration, but I think some stars like Kucherov, you'll watch him. He shows his frustration with his stick. Like he gets cheap and like
big time.
You know, we might see it in some of these games against the Lightning, but Timmy's physical, and I love that about him.
Yeah, and he's bulked up so that he can back himself up. Like in his first couple of years, it was, all right, where's big brother Brady to help me out in these situations, right? But that's not the case anymore.
There's Fogle and Eller here. Under a minute to go already. Oh, Nick Jensen. Ooh. Remember, this game against the Canucks in Ottawa was 2 quick goals from Zub and Spence back-to-back, and that was it from the Sens. It was pretty low scoring. Lankinen was awesome again in that one. So
yeah.
We'll see. But I remember that one was such a, you only beat the Canucks 2-1 thing, because things were dark at that time for the Sens. It's been a complete turnaround, but it might be one of those games again, and they just got to control pace and do what they do. I'm comfortable with a 0-0 score here after one, if that's the case.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because you can find your way to get chances. Like the Sens are already getting much better chances than the Canucks have. And as long as they stay disciplined here, that'll be something to watch, Timmy. Because now they know he's hot right now, especially Hoglander. Like he's going to be going for him.
They know he's not the happy. Oh, nice pass by Spence.
Ran out of time.
Good try. All right, Pills. Yeah, we'll wait till Callum's in here, and then I'll give you the boots in the nicest way possible.
Respectfully, yeah, that sounds good.
Shout out host Jack. I haven't sent Callum the link yet, but I'm doing that right now.
No worries. It's hard to produce.
Man, I know.
Talking and clicking buttons. It's not as easy as people think.
I had a slight panic right before the game started because I was a little bit past 8:50 when we set it to be, and I hadn't figured out Prime on the thing I watch on. So I was like, where is it? I don't know where to find it. And it was taking me a while.
Yep.
And then I jump on and the puck doesn't drop till 9:20. So we were okay to wait.
Yes, dang.
Yeah, look, I think that's a good period. I don't know. I mean, they had a couple, maybe one close chance at their net, but what I expected, just puck didn't go in for them.
Yeah, and they didn't take any penalties. Reimer, apart from that little weird bounce at the side of the net where him and the D weren't really communicating properly and he had to jump on it. Other than that, I thought he's been solid. He's been squared up to the few shots he has had to face. Overall, this is fine. It's like I'd like for them to have the lead right now, but you're not in trouble here by any means.
Yeah, feel out process for sure. And look, like it was a bit of a boring period, but we know that boring hockey is not a bad thing for the Sens. It's just a little quieter, but they did good things offensively. I didn't have anything to really gripe on really. I thought Timmy was great. It was probably his best period in a little while here. So I'm happy with that. Pilsy, we'll see you in the postcast tonight. I may or may not join. We'll see how this game goes. See what the vibes are for this West Coast one. But appreciate you, man. And yeah, talk to you later.
No problem, Jack. See you guys.
All right, that's been Brandon Pillar, co-host Locked On Senators podcast. You know Pilsy, obviously. Pilsy loves joining in for the first periods, and I love when he's here doing that. We're going guest to guest again, folks. Love this little rotation we get going. And I'm going to talk to my friend here, Callum Fraser with Post Media. It's been a while, Callum. How you doing, man?
What's going on, buddy? Yeah, I'm getting rested up after a week and a bit down south, and still watched every game, still watched every second of Senators hockey, and they look pretty good again, kind of like they have the past few games. And yeah, just getting back into the swing of things. It was 15 degrees today, so kind of still felt like I was on vacation. Yeah,
it was a nice one. Snow's melting here in La Belle Province. I know there's a lot more in Ottawa, but it's nice. Time changes happen. Like we're getting to that season here, Callum, where playoff hockey is in the air a little bit more and more every day. Before we get into the Sens, I'd like to ask, how's the game? How was the golf game for you down south?
All over the place. Like I mean, I put the lights out all the time, and then I cannot get off the tee. I really, really cannot. Like I was using a brand new driver a couple times, like no range session. Like that's how in my head I am on the tee. But yeah, it was awesome. If anyone is ever in Myrtle Beach, like Pine Lakes, Caledonia, Tidewater, and TPC Myrtle are like out of this world. A couple of those, if they're in really good shape, you'll never play a better golf course unless you're like playing Augusta National. It's unbelievable.
I'm very jealous of you playing some golf. That's some you and I like to do in the summers, but let's not talk too much golf. I didn't want to get too deep into golf because we could deal with that for a whole 15-minute segment if we wanted to. The Sens, Callum, you said you've been watching. Obviously, they've really picked it up since the Olympic break almost. This play on the road trip has probably been their best stretch of the season. The opponents aren't that strong. I think you look at the schedule at the beginning of the season, you look at the Leafs and the Oilers, and you say that's a hard start to the trip, but both of those teams have really underwhelmed this season. Their one loss comes in Edmonton. They look good tonight. Kind of how are you feeling, I guess, about their play post-Olympics, maybe in the context of their whole season?
Yeah, I just think that like in every single zone, it just looks like they're moving in 5-man units so well right now. I think with a team like this on paper that is not elite, they really aren't, right? Like Stützle, Sanderson, Kachuk, sure. Shabbat's a good defender. Like Allmark, if he plays really well, then he is, one of the better goalies in the league. But they're really not close to being elite on paper. What this team needs to do is to have a really good message from the coach and to have, good structure and good strategy, but also every single guy that jumps over the boards needs to be giving 100%. And I think that, it's so drastic right now, the stark contrast between these teams, because it's so clear, like Calgary, I feel bad for Calgary fans because that team has just completely given up, but also are just like so built for a tankathon. It's not even funny. Like that's some of the worst hockey I've ever seen watching them a couple nights ago. And Vancouver like looks slightly better, but there's still like there's a couple of guys on the team that are interesting to watch, but they kind of look like they don't care. So it is a bit of a stark contrast, but man, like the Senators just look like they are an extremely well-oiled machine right now. There are very, very few shifts taken off. And I think that what has helped on this road trip is that whereas before the Olympic break, we saw I think Shane Pinto was snake bitten, but I thought a lot of other guys were just not playing up to snuff. Michael Amadio was, still he was still a great two-way player in a certain sense, but I mean, it looked like he knew he was not going to score every single night. Like he was so seriously lacking in confidence. And it kind of seems like the script has just been totally flipped ever since they played Toronto. So there's a lot of guys, I think, further down the lineup that have a lot of jump right now and have a lot of confidence with the puck. And I think like when that happens with a team like this, who you have a lot of, kind of like a lot of line 2 guys playing in the top 6 and a lot of line 3 guys playing in the bottom 6, if that makes a lot of sense, right? Like it's a lot of like middling players that if you're going to, make a push for the playoffs, they need to be playing at their absolute best. And Travis Green is pulling every ounce out of this team right now. They look really, really, really strong.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. The depth has really come through at the right time, and added to that depth is Warren Foegele, and we'll get to the obvious elephant in the room here, the first period without their star player, their best player. We'll talk about that in a little bit here, but Warren Foegele, I think that's a guy who I was all about. Not that I was saying the Sens need to acquire this guy, go get him. I didn't know he was available. I didn't think the Kings would move off of him. Tough season, and I think Steos actually touched on that when he talked about acquiring him and saying if he wasn't having this down of a season offensively, he wouldn't have been available. Looking like a pretty good fit there on that fourth line. I thought he'd be up there with Amadio and Pinto in that shutdown role. I know he's done that in the past on Edmonton and the Kings a little bit, but he's looking nice on that fourth line. Lars Eller's looked really good the past few games, and I've actually liked Fabian Zetterlund's game. I don't think that, the numbers aren't there for sure, but I'm noticing him on the forecheck in the limited minutes he's had, and also playing with Eller and McDermott. I don't know what we're expecting out of Zetterlund, so now he's got a guy there on his wing who can skate with him, which is huge because no one else really can on that fourth line that's been there. Even Halliday, not the fastest skater, let's say. So I've liked it. I've liked it a lot. What have you made of Warren Foegele's kind of fit and maybe even the price to get him? Because the second round pick's not cheap, even if it's Buffalo's and it's way higher. I think I was thinking that might be 33rd overall based on how the Sabres are going at the start of the year. But what do you think of the price and just maybe their deadline as a whole and moving out DP as well?
Yeah, I thought it was I hadn't watched a ton of Warren Foegele before. I looked at his stats and I thought 7 goals, 2 assists this year. Oh. And, you watch him in that first game, he took a little, understandably, I think he took like 25, 30 minutes to kind of get his legs and to kind of realize how this team plays. Cause I think he burned Eller on a couple of offsides in the first couple of periods, flubbed a couple of pucks, had no idea what he was doing. But then halfway through the second period, kind of started to get some jam. And then the third period, he looked unbelievable. I really like the player, man. I really do. He didn't have the best period there. But at his last shift, he's taken on 3 guys down low and he's able to, win a puck battle, get the puck back to the point. And he's really fast. I'm shocked actually how fast he is. I thought that brought a lot to that fourth line last game because Lars has definitely lost a step and Fabian's kind of in and out of games, not scratched wise, but it looks like he turns it on for a shift here and there. I think that Foegele has the opportunity to really be a catalyst on that line, and he can kind of do everything. Not necessarily at a top 6 level, but he can score. He's really good with the puck. He's a big, big body. And like I said, he's got good feet. So, my first thought was when I looked at him on the fourth line was he's not going to be there for very long. But with the chemistry that they've shown already, I wonder if because of how much like Tim has had to play this year, because of how much like Travis at times has relied on the second line, the chemistry between Ridley Gregg, Ridley Gregg, Brady Tkachuk, and Dylan Cousins. I wonder if he sees this as an opportunity to start to roll the lines a lot more, because I'm pretty sure Fogle had around 11 minutes the other night. I think as did Eller and Zetterlund. They were around there, which is completely like not what we're used to seeing. Like there's been quite a few games in the past, month or so where the fourth line has finished with like 5 or 6 minutes. Like Stephen Halliday has been benched for the final 30 minutes. I believe a couple of games ago, even Eller was benched for the final 30 minutes as well. So I think this definitely gives Travis a lot more options. And, if it doesn't work out, then you just move the guy up and you bring Nick Cousins down. You play the fourth line like 5 minutes a night. Because I think Fogle would also look really, really strong on that shutdown line. But yeah, looks like a great addition. You mentioned David Perron.
I just tee it up like a DP. Yeah. I think you said it perfectly with that fourth line. It needs to be an effective 11 minutes if they're playing that. And I think Fogle is a guy who can play 11 minutes and be effective. I don't think DP is. I think he came in here to maybe be an option in the top 6. He found a lot of chemistry with Cousins and Batherson down the stretch last season. Scored some big goals, man. DP almost had one of the most iconic Sens goals in franchise history, quite honestly, if Max Pacioretty didn't ruin our dreams. But I think it was kind of a nice swap. Division rival to Detroit is a little interesting. I think that's maybe doing right by the player a little bit, but it's weird when a guy who's injured gets traded at the deadline, because I forget his last game even now.
Yeah, and I don't know, this kind of comes to my mind. Like I think that he's more of a player that like is built for a gritty 7-game series, but not like a playoff push, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying he's not a guy that doesn't get you there, but they're not in a comfortable spot right now, and they need a guy that can inject something into that bottom 4. And bottom 6. And I don't think that David Perron coming back was going to do that. He's a great player down low, wins a lot of board battles. I think he lost a step and a half this year, it looked like. And you have no idea how he's going to come back from that injury, how good he's going to look. So I think at times he was a really, really great player. I think he was actually one of their better forwards overall in that Toronto series, because he was one of the guys that was like ready to go right away. And a lot of guys weren't last year. So kudos to him. And like great guy too, like awesome to talk in the locker room. And I obviously he was beloved in that locker room. I just like Fogle's 29 years old. It looks like he's potentially still in the prime of his career. We'll see. But I don't know, man. I really like the deal. I really like the deal there from Staios.
Me too. Yeah. And I find myself saying that a lot with Steve Staios' moves. And honestly, like, I think it's just the hangover or the honeymoon phase is definitely over. And I'm saying hangover from the Pierre Dorion era is over, where the first couple moves Staios made, you're like, oh my God, like this guy's actually making smart hockey moves. Speaking of that,
can I just, has he made a move? I don't know. It's difficult to remember every single one, but has he made a move that like right now looks bad? I mean, we can talk about the Linus Ullmark thing, but like, come on.
He's the best goalie they've had since Craig Anderson, hands down.
He won the Vezina. Okay. Like, does it look bad if he can't play, significant time going in the future? If he can't get his game together? Sure. It looks really bad, but come on.
And the trade's not the extension. I think the extension is a conversation, but the trade itself was an absolute home run for the Ottawa Senators. Yeah. Getting off Korpisalo alone should have cost a first-round pick, let alone getting a guy like Ullmark back.
All I'm going to say is a lot of the people that are criticizing that move, and I think it's fair to criticize how Linus has played this year entirely.
For sure.
I think it's very fair to criticize how Staios reacted to everything that happened with the goaltending, and actually how he prepared for the goaltending this year. Yep. Having said that, though, all these people that are criticizing that deal and the trade and everything, I'd love to see your posts, a year and a half ago when he signed that deal, or I forget when the trade was, but like, I'd love to see your posts on Twitter. I'd love to see them. It seems like a lot of revisionist history right now.
Well, actually, his most recent acquisition was getting ready to play the biggest game of his life. It was right before Game 7 in 2024 against with the Oilers and the Panthers that he made that trade. It was a weird one. out of the blue. Last thing we'll quickly bring up here just as we get back, but obviously the game's happening. It's a bit of a low event game. I don't mind if we go into the second here a little bit. Let's talk defense. And I want to bring up one of Staios' trades is Jordan Spence, because Callum, first period here without Jake Sanderson, we've got Nick Jensen playing a team low, or no, Matt and Paolo as well, but a new third pairing with Sanderson out. It's Jensen, Matt and Paolo as a third pairing. Clevin and Spence pretty significantly above them in ice time, with the one power play bumping Spence up a little bit, but 641 for Clevin, 447 for Nick Jensen. That's a few more shifts here and there. Curious to see if that continues. What do you kind of expect out of this decor without their best player and leader and just the guy back there, Jake Sanderson, for at least the next 7 to 10 games?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it goes without saying everyone has to step up. And I think Shabbat has to play kind of more. I mean, he has to play like Sanderson, to be completely honest, in the D zone. And I don't think it really looked like that in the first period. He got mugged a couple of times, and I didn't like how he played that 2-on-1 shorthanded. Was it Tim Stutz's fault? Absolutely. That was a really bad no look behind the back play. But I think he needs to really lock it down in the D zone and not worry about creating offense. Like, everyone in front of the decor right now is locked in. They're generating so much off the cycle right now. I would not worry about trying to be Jake Sanderson, quarterbacking the play in the O-zone right now. Just lock it down defensively. That's all they really need, because honestly, the rest of the decor kind of looked, I think that was actually Nick Jensen's best period I've seen in a really long time. Blocks a shot after another Stützle giveaway. He navigated the neutral zone really well. And then also kept it in at the blue line and threw it over to Stützle for a solid, wrister from the slot. Nicholas Matin-Paolo, his first shift in 3 years, draws a penalty, right? I thought everyone played pretty well actually outside of Shabbat. So I think it has, it's everyone, right? Everyone has to step up, but I think that Shabbat really, really needs to give them solid minutes defensively, and everything's going to work out. This team right now is the best it's ever been in, ability to kind of pick up with star players out. It's just because everything's so cohesive right now. And I think that, Staios mentioned it a couple of days ago, right? It's good to have, I guess, an Olympian that's being scratched right now. We're going to see it from Nicholas Matin-Paolo, because I think, week to week to me sounds like it's not going to be, anytime relatively soon. We'll see how close it gets to, the final few games before the playoffs, but I don't know. I think that the top line or the top pairing in Zub Sanderson just needs to focus on defense and defense only, and everything will work out.
I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah. And it's a huge loss, but like you mentioned, they are able, and they have in the past, as recently as this season, picked up when a star player is out. They went 11-5-4 without Brady Tkachuk in the lineup. And I think this is a nice opportunity here tonight as a tune-up game. You're playing the Vancouver Canucks, who are actively trying to lose, very similar to the Calgary Flames. It's been a take care of business road trip, but they're playing opponents that they should be beating, and I think we've seen that in their play. Callum, that's the last question I had for you. I know that we are not in a road game the next few games here, but we'll look to get your insight more consistently when you're back on the beat here after your trip, and happy to catch up with you, man.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you.
No worries. All right. That's been Callum Fraser with the Ottawa Sun and the Ottawa Citizen, covering the Ottawa Senators on the beat. Love when Callum joins me for these live streams. It was great insight as well. And I liked a lot of what he said. He's right. I mean, they looked all right. There were a couple of guys maybe who didn't look as sharp. Some giveaways from Timmy. But Timmy also had some rush plays where he could have scored and made this a lead for the Sens. So take the good with the bad. But we are right back with the second period. Just me for the rest of the night here, folks. So settle in. Let's walk through this low event game between the Ottawa Senators and Vancouver Canucks. Low event so far. There's a couple, pushing and shoving matches that might resurface here in the next few minutes, but we'll just have to see. There's Shabbat with a physical play. So the other thing is, obviously, you're just getting used to a new partner as well, right? With Sanderson out for Thomas Chabot. Like him and Zub have played together in the past, but not recently. So it's a new kind of chemistry. You got to work all that out, work all the kinks out. It takes time. Here's Clevin with a bit of space. Oh, I hit Nick Cousins in front. And I think top line's getting out there for the Sens. And yeah, Jordan Spence and Tyler Clevin were very clearly the second pairing in that period. We talked during the period with Pilsy, and that held true. They got more ice time than Jensen and Matt and Paolo, and I expect that to be the way they go because that's been a good third pairing. They're just going to be playing they're going to be playing more minutes, and B, some harder minutes probably. Here's Claude Giroux in the middle of the ice. Just gets it down into the zone for Timmy. Nice forecheck. Brings it up high in the zone. He keeps going around. Takes a huge hit there. No one gets a stick in front. Nice stick by Bat and Paolo there in the D zone. And out comes Claude Giroux. Down for Dylan Cousins. Someone's going to have to step up and score a goal here. Got to make it happen. Brady just took a hard shot. Sens have been good in the second period. It's a lot of offense lately in the seconds. So hopefully they can keep that going, keep that rolling. Nice move there by Dylan Cousins. Gets rubbed out, though, on the boards. Shots are 8-4 for the Senators here with 16:50 left in the second. That's where I'm at. 16:47 right now. Fourth line getting out there. They're really just rolling all four when they get the opportunity. Canucks are having a decent time getting the puck out. They're not getting possession, but hasn't looked quite as clean on the forecheck for the Sens tonight as it has in the past few games. And like I was saying to Pilsy, like it's bound to fall off, right? At some point, like they're not that I'm expecting the Sens to completely drop off, but they've been playing so well that a sag of a game is coming at some point. It's just natural the way that happens. It's only just a matter of when. And like, I don't think it'll happen tonight, but end of a road trip, sometimes these games are trap games, you know? There's a good block by Zetterlund. Puck gets out. After a good pressure shift from the Canucks there. Nine 5 are the shots. A lot of young guys for the Canucks, obviously, as they pick their new movement or sort of. But I mean, it's crazy that they had Quinn Hughes this season, isn't it? Like they really just sold out on this season. The Sens do miss Sanderson already. It's pretty obvious in some areas, like the puck battles in the D zone, all that. But Chabot's a puck mover. It's not like he's not a puck mover, so he's able to do those things. It's just like Callum was saying, defensively, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. They're going to have to adjust to it. Got Claude Giroux for the face-off. Why is Giroux 41% face-off probability? Oh, is it because he got kicked out? That might be why. Tough to win if you're not in the face-off. Is Ratti really good? Atu Ratti? I don't know, actually. Is it Ratu? And he gets kicked out. He was very favored there. Winger win for Vancouver. And they ice it. Matt and Paolo getting back in the lineup. Not the way we wanted to see him, but good to see him out there. Their offensive zone face-off. And they blow it dead. And the low event game becomes even slower. This is my first time doing this because you never know, right? And last year, obviously, when they made the playoffs, you're so excited they make it, but it's quick, right? If you lose in the first round, it's just 6 extra games. It's another 2 weeks. But they've been playing every day. It's been a lot of Sens hockey. And I was saying to myself here, I need to check myself because I'm sitting here kind of like, this is a boring game. Like, I'm not really excited for this one against the Canucks, even though the points are big no matter what for the Sens. But I'm going to check myself because in July or September, I'm going to be sitting there being like, I miss Sens hockey and I wish I was watching Sens and Canucks on a Monday night. Here's Zetterlund. Oh, we tried to hit Timmy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, I'd kill for a game like this in September. September Jack would kill for a game like this. There's a nice save by Reimer. Little chance there for the Canucks. Timmy was a little shaken up there. Hit the boards hard. Looks to be okay. Stützle riding a 12-game point streak. 12 games. Insane. So long. Defensive zone draw here for Lars Eller. The Sens win it, and here they go. Fourth line with a little bit of a push. Jensen's got it up high. Matt and Paolo with a good pinch. Here's Fogle. Got bodied off the puck there a little bit. Reimer stopped that one, but he did not know where it was. And Zetterlund does a good job recovering. Fogle gets it in deep. Almost too many men there for the Sens. Oh, here's a break for the Canucks. Nice save by Reimer. That was a good chance. That was basically a breakaway there. Who was that, Bluger? Reimer got a snow shower. He's got snow in his mustache. Ha. Oh, yeah. Nice glove save and eats a snow shower to the face. All right, that's good. Good little sequence there for Reimer. Two good saves in a row. And a TV timeout to boot. Just checking Twitter. Sorry about that, folks. It's not a good way to host a live stream is going on Twitter. I don't know what I'm doing. Folks, I'm really not going to read into this game too much. I see some panic in the chat here. Like, listen, if they lose, I'm going to have my moment where I'm like, you got to win this game. Like, what are they doing? Blah, blah, blah. But the hockey they've played lately, they've been so good that this is so clearly a trap game for them. And would I like to see them put the pedal to the metal here against a bad team? Absolutely. but it's their first game without their best player, and that any team is going to have a sag after that. And we're talking about a sag; they're still 2-1 out shooting them, I think, or something like that. So I'm not too worried yet. A lot of hockey left in this game. It's 0-0. It's not. There's is it Megan Oldham? Double Olympic medalist for Canada at the Canucks game. It was pretty cool. She was at the Sens and Leafs game. She just loves watching the Sens, I think. Even though she's worn a Leafs jersey and now a Canucks flag, maybe she's not a Sens fan, but 2 Sens games in a week. Lucky her. That'll be me and the boys next weekend. Yeah, Canucks are feisty there. I think you're right. And look, it's a team that has not much to play for. Like, they are actively trying to lose, and sometimes those teams get a little jolt in their step or pep in their step in these games. So just gotta hope the Sens can kind of figure it out here and get a point or get 2 points. Obviously, it's got to be 2 points. I'm not trying to undersell that they need the 2 points. I'm just saying. Oh, Sens took a penalty there. Pinto saved a goal. Shabbat took a penalty on Pedersen driving him. That was very close to a goal against. Pedersen blocked it and then went on a nice little rush there. What's the penalty for? On Shabbat? That's a weak call. They calling him for a hook there? Slash, come on. Weak. Not much of a penalty there, in my opinion, but oh well, gotta kill it off. Here we go. Is Vancouver's power play also bad? They've got some guys still. Let's see the stats. Because the Sens PK has been better under Mike Yeo. It really has. The sample's big enough now. 22nd power play? Okay. God, they just dug themselves such a big hole on the PK this year. Still 30th. What a stick by Michael Amadio. Just takes it right from Brock Besser. Nice play by Zub on the wall there. They're doing a much better job at denying entry on the PK. That's the main thing I noticed with Mike Yeo. Like, their pressure up the ice is very, very strong. And they're also putting Pinto and Timmy out there together on the PK, and that can create some offense. They've had some moments where they're starting to get some chemistry, so watch for those two shorthanded if they keep that pairing together. Nice play by Pinto at the line. Canucks can't even get set up here, and Pinto just drew a penalty. And the Canucks player is not happy about it. Is that Linus Karlsson? It is. So great PK by the Sens. They'll go 4-on-4 here, and Linus Karlsson is making a show here of not liking this penalty call. Surely this is... Oh, he elbowed him in the face there a little bit. Surely that's worth a technical at least, or unsportsmanlike, which Kachuk got for skating over the penalty box a few games ago. He's still making a show. Look at this guy. Relax. Man. When they're egregious call, I think the only time players should be warranted to freak out like that. Timmy does it a lot too, and it bothers me. But when he like complains about to the refs, he's gotten better at it. But like at some point, just take it easy. If it's been a whole game of brutal calls, sure, but that wasn't as bad of a bad call as the one on Shabbat, I don't think. Kind of took Pinto down with him. Here's Spence out there now. 4-on-4 hockey, a lot of space. Pinto tried a long shot. And they'll just send it down back to Reimer. And Clevin gets it. Shabbat in the box is tough for 4-on-4. 30 more seconds of it. Fogel out there with Pinto. Here he is. Nice move on the wall. Over to Zub. Back up high to no one there, middle of a change. Jensen comes out. He's got some space. He's wheeling in the middle. Nick Jensen. Oh, got a good shot off. That would have been something. Don't give Nick Jensen time and space. Oh, and Zeev Boyum. That's some good separation there. Rossi. Nice save by Reimer. Reimer's made some good saves here. Made some good saves in this game. We got some rough stuff. This game's getting a bit chippy here. Getting a bit chippy. No worries, Nick. Happy to have you no matter what time. Thanks for joining, man. Jensen did shoot it right at the TD logo on the goalie, but hey, that was a nice little 4-4. Jensen might be built different. Jensen's elite. Jensen the secret weapon. Don't let Jensen get hot. 0-0 score has you concerned. Concerned, not nervous. That's fair. That's fair. I really do think that they're just working out the kinks here without Sanderson. And it's good that they got this game because Wednesday's a big one. Wednesday is a big one. Means more than just the 2 points in the standings Wednesday. You got to get some revenge here. Brady directing traffic here on the D-zone draw. Tied it up and he won it. And the Sens will get a brief power play here. The first one looked good, just didn't really get any clean chances. Here's Dylan Cousins breaking in on a breakaway. Good work by Dylan Cousins. Got the entry the hard way. Got a good look there too. Kachuk up to Dylan Cousins. Little scrambly here. Kachuk behind the net up to Shabbat. Over to Timmy. Shabbat up top. Back over to Timmy. He's got lots of time. Down to Kachuk. Tried to wing it to Batherson. And he missed it. Good puck movement, but just a little indecisive there, and the Canucks go offside. I think Stutzler should have taken a step. He stopped moving his feet. I'm checking the monitors here. I'd like to see Drake Batherson get going here. I actually had not noticed him this game until he missed that pass there on the power play. All right, power play over. Still a 0-0 game here, folks. Halfway through this one. Giroux sends it up high. Zub shoots it. It's loose in the slot. Ridley Gregg. There we go. Even strength goal for Ridley Gregg where he makes a living. I think Pinto got nailed with that puck, and that's why it bounced to him. They're having a chuckle about that. Right as the power play expired there, Ridley Gregg. Even strength goal, 1-0 Sens. Let's take a look at this one. Pinto ate a hit on the wall. Giroux sends it up high. That hit Pinto in the hands there. Is that a hand pass? But nice, good heads-up play by Gregg there. Nice little silky move, bring it to his forehand. Great play. I think they are challenging. They're taking their sweet time here. So I think what you can do is you can challenge for missed stoppage of play if it hits the hand. And I think it looked like it hit Pinto in the hands here. Oh, it's close. It's his hand, like his fingers on his stick. I don't know if that counts as a hand pass. I don't know, man. He was laughing about it though. Zub almost pinged his own player. It does hit his glove. It hits his glove. So if Vancouver's challenging, I don't think this is going to count. They are. It looks like they are. I don't think this is going to count, unfortunately. I don't think it's going to count. It doesn't matter if he's trying to pass. Like if it hits your hand and then it goes to your team, they call that hand pass all the time. So I think this is going to be called a missed stoppage of play. That's tough. It's a good bounce, but it's one of those ones that's black and white. It's not like a gray area. Like there aren't going to be like I think anyway. Like if they say like he wasn't trying to pass it, it's a fluke bounce, maybe. But I'd just be surprised. Like we've seen other ones called back for the same thing. No, I agree. Yeah, Mike, I completely agree. Like I'm with you. I'm not saying like he passed that on purpose by any means, but just by the way the rule works. Like if it hits your hand and goes to your teammate, it's a hand pass. They blow it dead every time. So if I'm wrong, a good goal, throw my credibility out the window. I don't know anything. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Take my credibility credentials away. What am I talking about? It's not a hand pass, Jack. You idiot. What are you talking about? 1-0 Sens. And to the power play they go. I don't know how that counts. I'm going to be honest. I still think that's the way that those challenges go. But will we complain about it? No. Would we complain about it if it went against the Sens? Yes. But let's go. Let's make it 2-0 here. Dylan Cousins to Tkachuk. He hits the side of the net. Good look there early. Oh, ref got in the way. That was right to Timmy. That was in the slot too. That's the way to make the Canucks feel better. Ref gets in the way of a pass. Pretty egregious spot for the ref to get in the way of a pass, by the way. It happens on the boards every now and then, but in the middle of the ice, pretty inexcusable, to be honest. It actually like caused the scoring chance to go away. Ref's got to watch the game tape of Brady Tkachuk's passes from the boards. He's an elite playmaker. Battling there with Dylan Cousins. Over to Timmy, to Batherson, all alone. Misses high. There's Brady again. Over to Timmy. Up to Drake. Shabbat's got it. Back over to Batherson. Good puck movement. Brady down low, tried to feed Batherson, couldn't hit him. Power plays look good. They're just not quite converting. Pinto loses it in the zone. Nice play by Giroux, though. And puck comes out anyway. Yeah, folks, I really thought that was going to get called back, to be like just a hand up play for me there. I did not expect that goal to count. Canucks have some numbers now as the power play comes to an end. Blocked by Spence. Nice play. And here come the Sens. 3-on-1. Spence, Greg, and Pinto. Greg, gotta shoot that. Oh, nice save there. Turned into a bit of a 2-on-1, and Greg took it in. And the Canucks are coming back now. Nice play by Clevin. I think the power plays looks good. They're just not capitalizing. It's not like they're not getting set up or anything. Top unit looked good there. Here comes Fogle. Back to Zub. Just missed. All right, let's see them kind of take over the rest of this period. That'd be nice. It's offside by the Canucks. Jensen with a nice play on the boards. Oh, he gets hit hard. Never mind. And Reimer directs it out of play. the chat there, Jensen elite, and then Jensen gets owned. Jensen WTF. I'm very surprised that counted. I still am. Like, obviously he was not trying to hand pass that, but just worked out in the Sens' favor, though. I'll take it. Yeah, and Shane Pinto gets a point on that. 3-game point streak for Shane Pinto. Ever since a certain someone said they need to get more offense out of him because he had 15 points in his last 31 games. It was me. I pointed that out on Twitter. Maybe Shane Pinto looked at my tweets. I hope he didn't. I hope they don't. I hope none of them see too much what goes on Twitter, but they see some of it, folks. We know that for sure. What's the chat saying here? All right. I've worked it out here with the Prime broadcast for some reason because it's on a different, service that I'm using. I think we're kind of in sync, so I don't get spoiled there. Like the result of that, the coach's challenge there didn't get spoiled for me while I had the chat open. So I might keep it open here. X, yeah. Sorry there, Greg. My bad. On X, not Twitter. All right, here we go. Back for more. They're showing some Timmy highlights here. Point streak on the line for Tim Stützle. Will it be another third period point for him to extend it? If he does extend it, it could end. Point streaks always come to an end at some point. I think he's been good tonight. A couple plays where you maybe want him to make a better play, but he's all around it. He's got some pep in his step, some jump. Two shots on goal, one hit for the German. 6:36 left. Sens are up 1-0. Canucks win the draw in the O-zone. Reimer with a little toe save there. And the Sens are battling away. Jensen with a good battle. And out comes Pinto. Gets it deep. And Amadio goes to work. I think Zub's looked good tonight. Zub's stepping up a little bit with his skating, which is nice. Here's Zeev Boyum. And the Sens just get the puck deep and get a change. We're back to low event hockey. It was a bit of a running gun there for a bit, but looks like the Sens are just going to kind of get back to chilling and clogging up the neutral zone. There's Ridley Gregg up to Chabot. Over to Kachuk. Nice move. Sends it deep. And they're fighting for it just inside the Canucks line. Got a quick change in there, too. Well done. Fourth line out there now. Kachuk is still out, though. Oh, Clevin just took a run at a guy. Not much doing here. We're back, like I said, back to the low event. These are the games the Sens like, though. It's nice and tight checking. Limit what you give up. Zetterlund battling behind the net. Like the way the Sens take away time and space is so impressive. Just all five guys. Like Zetterlund went into the corner there in the defensive zone to just take his man. Like not even if they're not in a dangerous scoring area, the way that players make plays in the NHL today, like they a little bit of time and space is all they need to make something happen, right? But the way the Sens work, like I know they just iced it there, and I might eat my words quickly on a couple bang bang plays, but the way that they track and close on their opponent, no matter where they are on the ice, is just so impressive. It's just good coaching, man. Good coaching by Travis Green. Last season was a barn burner in this game. It was a 5-4 overtime win, and guess who scored the winner? It was Jake Sanderson. I believe his only overtime winner of his career. Maybe he has another one, but he does have two. One in the playoffs, but in 3-on-3, I think that's his only one. And that was actually to make it 6 wins in a row for the Sens. And offside at the Canucks line. Another commercial break. Off we go. And folks, you know, I'm actually going to take a quick break myself. I'll be right back. Less than 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for tuning in. See you in 2 minutes. All right, we are back. Less than 2 minutes, I should have said. Showing one of the coaches on the Canucks bench. The one who decided to challenge and was wrong, unfortunately, for him. I don't think I'm ready to crown this game. I mean, still a lot of hockey left. Anything can happen in the next 23 plus minutes, but I'm not ready to crown like, oh, this is life without Jake Sanderson. I just truly do think this is a result. Oh, here we go. A bit of a chance now for Giroux and Stutzla. Oh, he threw it in front of Batherson, couldn't bury it. I just think the low event here is a result of the Sens just kind of sagging a little bit to their opponent, whatever it may be. It happens. They did it again. Like I said, the Vancouver game last time in Ottawa was very low scoring. It was 2-1 for the Sens. It was not a high flying game for the Sens, like against this opponent. Ooh, Reimer looked behind him there on that. And Zub with a takedown. He might get a penalty for that one. Didn't like the snow shower on Reimer, but Reimer looked behind him. He did take a snow shower. Second time tonight. This period, actually. And it's Linus Karlsson again. I don't think they're calling Zub. They shouldn't. I think Zub's going to be really good tonight. He's going to be, I mean, a lot of people are talking about Shabbat, but Zub's going to have to step up too and do a lot of work without Sanderson. Just going to have to be that stud defensive defenseman that he usually is, but without his real partner. Yeah, Zub just took him right down. Canucks are kind of buzzing around here. Stopped by Reimer. He did not see that one, but nice save. It was Pinto on Pedersen. Madio battling. Pedersen with a nice play. Oh, and 2-on-1 here for the Canucks. Hoglander misses the net wide. That developed into a 2-on-1 quick. Here come the Canucks again. Hronek. Stopped by Reimer. Nice save. Canucks are kind of pushing here. A couple nice saves by James Reimer. 145. Vancouver has held the play here for most of it. It's a rough little shift there for Shabbat. That was a lucky bounce against. Shots are 8-8 this period. Again, I said there's a lot of hockey left. Maybe I will leave this game and be like, this is just life without Jake Sanderson and it sucks and we need to take any point we can get. But like I said, some guys are going to have to step up. Cousins wings it around here for Tkachuk. And sends back in their own end. Here we go. Nice play by Greg up to Tkachuk. He's deep for Dylan Cousins. Up to Greg. Over to Brady. Oh, it just bounced on his stick. What a great play. Matt and Paolo sends one in. Greg battling there. Good shift by this line. There we go. See, Matt and Paolo couldn't hold the line there because he's a righty. A bad pass by Batherson again. Reimer makes a stop. That pass by Batherson was exactly what he did in Montreal in overtime. Jensen gets it deep. $18 seconds left. Nice move by Timmy in the middle. Giroux back to Tim. And that'll do it. All right, 1-0 for the Sens into the intermission. Tight one. We got a tight game. 1-goal game going into the third. That was a good shift at the end there by Greg, Cousins, and Tkachuk. What do we think, folks? Yeah, like again, they're playing okay. They're not playing their best. We've seen better on this road trip, definitely. No doubt about that. But I don't want to read too much into this game one way or another, for reasons on either side. Let's look at some ice time. Let's look at some ice time here. Let's see. All right, stats through 20. Let's take a deep dive into some ice time. This is the fun stuff. Obviously, Reimer has 13 saves. I think he's looked good, man. Some of those saves were not easy, and he's made some nice ones. Power plays over 3. I think it's looked okay, but it hasn't like clicked, you know. They just haven't executed basically. So Clevin has played 12:45. Nick Jensen's played 9:49. Clevin's actually played more than Spence, despite that power play, which is interesting. Yeah, Matt and Paolo 8:24. So the third pairing is clearly Matt and Paolo and Jensen. Thomas Chabot already up to 17:13. He's been playing a lot, folks. A lot of hockey. Zub 14:38. Pretty standard for him as a top pair defenseman. Up front, Zetterlund at 8 minutes is pretty notable. Just averaging about 4 minutes a period. So that fourth line's getting some use on the road a bit more. Fogle, what's he at? 8:41, same thing. Not a ton to write home about with all the ice times and stuff. It's been a pretty in the flow type of game. But yeah, the shots were 9-9 that period. A lot more looks for Vancouver. Something I'm sure the Sens will not be happy with in the intermission. So we'll see what Travis Green says. Not necessarily harping on the lack of offense, but I think the shots given up is something they want to clean up because not their best period for sure. But that's kind of it, folks. I wish I had more for you. I really did, but I kind of expected this type of game again. I really did. I think Seattle was their blowout game. Ridley Gregg. Let's talk Ridley Gregg. Getting that goal, little heads-up play off a nice bounce from Pinto. He's always playing, man. Ridley Gregg, 71 is always in the mix. Always in the mix. And his offense has just really come through. Did that say first goal in 10 games, though, for him? It doesn't feel like it. See, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't feel like he hasn't scored in that long, which is great. Stützle, Cousins, and Shabby are the standouts so far. Yeah, I'll agree with you on Stützle for sure. I don't think Cousins has had as much of a pop as he usually has had the last few games. And I can see that on Chabot, too. Yeah, I think Chabot's been noticeable. He's been out there a ton, too. Yeah, I'd like to see a bit more from the captain and see some people in the chat saying that I think he's losing a few too many battles for my liking. But we'll see. We'll see. I've liked Spence and Clevin as well. What else did the chat say? Yeah, Reimer, I think, is another standout here through two. Making the saves he needs to. He's made some nice ones, just kind of looking calm, looking nice and relaxed in net. Yeah, the Canucks are playing physical. I'm just seeing some people in the chat. Oh, and I see what you're talking about. Out blocking, out hitting. If you're out blocking your opponent, it means you don't have the puck as much, right? Now, if you're out blocking and out shooting, it's different. But I think the Sens have just had it more, so that's why Canucks have more blocks. But yeah, you could make the point like the Sens aren't really laying out the body for blocks tonight as much as they had been. Yeah, third line looks good. Pinto looks good. Obviously gets the assist off his hand. Funny way to get an assist for Shane Pinto. But yeah, we got a 1-0 hockey game without Jake Sanderson. Just scroll on Twitter. I know this isn't the best hosting here. We'll think of some ideas. I gotta think of a question. I'll think of a question here for the chat. Low event game, second intermission. I'm doing my best to brainstorm something to talk about because we got no deadline coming up. It's really just the runway here. to the season. I will think of something. We will think of something. Okay, how about this? Watching the decor through 2 periods. Pilsy and I talked about it a little bit. Didn't bring it up with Callum. But watching the decor here without Jake Sanderson, it's been 2 periods on the road, albeit, but these are the pairings they're probably going to want to have until Sanderson's back, if and when that is. Would you like to see Carter Yakimchuk up with this team, with this current makeup of the decor? That's my question. I'll write it out. So we got something to talk about. We'll put it on the thing. I don't know how to do a poll, B-Man. I don't know how, but figure it out. Good. If the people want it. I think I got to do a poll through the YouTube, and I don't have all the keys to that. They just gave me the key to like the place they stream. Maybe Ross could teach me how to do that, but let me just make a little quick banner here, okay? I'll change the David Perron one that I used the other game when he was traded. Should Yakimchuk make it all caps here. But yeah, question is going to be, should the Sens call up Yakimchuk in Sanderson's absence? We'll make that the question here for the intermission. Should the Sens call up Yakimchuk? Just to give him a go. Got some answers in here already. We got yes. Yes, let's see Yak. Yes. I think bringing up Yak would be risky from Owen. We got hell yes from Tim. No from Carter. No from Jim. His defense is not good enough yet, Carter adds. No Yak until the team is eliminated. I'm assuming he means Belleville there, Russ. I'm assuming that's what you mean, not Ottawa, and not more than 9 games. I agree with that. Pilsy said that too. Damien says not yet. Carter adding that he's 20. The issue is if they call him up, Manti is sitting and not Jensen, probably. Jordan, are you talking about Yakimchuk that we've been hearing about him for 3 years? What exactly are we waiting for? That's kind of where I'm at, man. Like, he's a top prospect. He's not a mid-first round pick here. Like, he was picked 7th overall, folks, in a decent draft. Like, at some point, Yakimchuk's impact is going to have to be felt at the NHL level. And I don't know. I don't think you want to call him up like in a panic. And it's not something the organization would do. Like we talked about it with Callum. They waited too long on the goaltending, didn't insulate the goaltending well enough. Like they made mistakes there, and Reimer wasn't brought in early enough, blah, 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 blah. They're not going to make a panic move for Yakimchuk to bring him up, but he was up practicing with the team around the Olympic break. He was breaking in some gear. Steos said if he hadn't been injured, we would have seen him already. He said that at Christmas. I think people forget that. Steve Steos said at Christmas or around Christmas, whatever it was, that if Yakimchuk hadn't been injured, which he was dealing with, he missed like 13 games, he missed about a month and a half, that if he did not have that injury, we probably would have seen him in Ottawa. I think Steos misspoke. I don't think he meant to say that, but he said it. The GM said it, and we know he's not really much for a quote, right? Like, he's not going to say things he doesn't mean that often. I don't know. I think the time could be sooner than we think. Like, defensively, they're going to miss Sanderson a lot, but offense is important as well, folks. Like, Sanderson is 4th in team in scoring. He was a point per game in the new year, Jake Sanderson was, or just under it. He was, a 20-game stretch where he was a point per game a little bit ago. So it's a guy you need to replace some offense somewhere. And I think what Yakimchuk brings, yes, there are going to be growing pains defensively, but I don't know. I think there's worse places to learn how to play defense, and he's going to have to play in these games at some point. Like, I completely understand the the mindset of like he needs more time in the AHL. I'm not saying it'll be a bad thing, but watching how it went in Belleville this season, like they just don't have. We're back. My bad. My mic unplugged there. Every time I touch it slightly, the cord, it unplugs. We're back. Everyone can hear me okay? Yeah, and honestly, I'm not trying to bring this up like first game without Sanderson, but it's just it's been a low event game. There's not much to touch on. And the team's been playing well. Like they're just in a lull. It's a lull of a game. You know what, Mike? This is a fair point. I agree with that. If they keep winning, then no. But if the offense struggles in the next few games, like the sample's big enough, I think you gotta think about it at least. At least think about it. Yeah, Dawn, I've noticed this too, man. Yeah, here's the Spit and Chicklets game show skit they did. I don't know what this is. Yeah, Dawn, you're right. You're right, man. Would like a bit more out of number 7 tonight. A little bit more. Yeah, I guess here. Oh, and this is my question. Like, at what point then? What's a downward spiral? A couple losses in a row because they can't afford like a 4 or 5 game losing streak by any means. That can't happen. So if it's 2 games, like they struggle to score here, maybe eke out a win. Maybe it ends up being 1-0, 2-1, whatever it is. They win this game. However, even if it's an overtime, they win the game. But then they lose to Montreal, lack of offense. They lose one or both of the games on the weekend. Hopefully not, because I'm going to be there. But they lose those ones, lack of offense. Is that when you call them up? Or is it you see 2 bad games here, 2 to 3 games, you say, okay, I think I'm with you, because they can't afford here to, and it's not like they can make a trade. The deadline was last week. It was Friday. So they missed that opportunity to trade. Obviously, it's hindsight. You wouldn't have wanted to go get a defenseman, but in hindsight, they probably wish they did because of what happened. And I don't know. Yeah, I think I think there's something to this. I like this point. Like, there's nothing wrong with him, I don't think, coming up here and taking in a few games in the press box even. I know that's not what you want your rookie to be doing all long term at least, but could do him some benefit just to practice with the team, be around the guys, be in the NHL, get a feel for what it's like. Because I will say, like with Yakimchuk, man, it's a big, especially because they didn't go get a guy like Uyghur or a guy like Falk who's going to be here next season. Like, there's going to be a hole. There is going to be, unless they go get someone this offseason, an opportunity for Carter Yakimchuk to move up into the NHL this offseason. 1,000%. As of right now, unless they go out and get a right shot top 4 defenseman. So because they didn't do that at the deadline, it opens the conversation for if this kid is ready or not. And a good way to find out if he's ready is to do it right now. Then you can know in the offseason, like, maybe we do need to go get someone. Instead of going to get someone and then the training camp comes around and Yakimchuk's the best defenseman on the ice. Because let's not forget, folks, like, Yakimchuk was awesome in his preseason debut. I know it's preseason, and I know it's not real NHL time, and it might have just been a hot streak and he got lucky with some of the goals, but he scored like 4 goals in his first preseason or something like that. He was unbelievable. And then he got sent down back to the WHL and didn't have as flashy of a preseason this year, but I thought he looked better. He was better defensively this preseason, and he got sent back down. But I keep going back to what Steve Stais said to the media. I'll find the clip. I'll do it. He said we would have seen Yakimchuk at this point if he hadn't gotten hurt in the middle of November. And maybe that means they really want to see him in the NHL. The report was that they were unwilling to trade him in any package for a player. Like, it was a non-negotiable, a top prospect, non-negotiable. So at some point, let's see him. Let's do it. Because I was saying to Pilsy, like, they don't have many prospects, but they're a team that's going to be pushing to win the next few seasons. Absolutely the next few seasons, right? And this season included. So eventually he's going to have to play these games. Like if the argument is the games are too important, you can't risk putting him in, when's he going to play? Because they're all technically important. These ones are more must win, but if he comes in next season and he struggles in November, those points that if he costs them points in the standings by his struggles, which is again another leap to take, but if he costs them next season, it's just going to be just as bad as doing it now, technically. So I don't know. I've ignited a conversation in the chat here about the captain. Look, man, I'm not trying to go big picture with Brady. I'm just trying to say, like, let's just see something in this third period. I just don't think he's having a good game tonight. I don't think we need to do a whole referendum on his play this season. I think he's been fine. I think he's been fighting through a significant injury for the first time in his career. His production's there. His playmaking's been great this season, the best it's been all his career. No discussions, no debates are going to be held here about the future of the captain at this point. So I just want to see a better period out of him. Almost set for the third period, I think, too. But yeah, that was a Yakimchuk discussion because I was going to be beating that drum regardless. I was talking about that before the deadline. Like, if they don't bring a guy in, I'd like to see him in the NHL at some point. And now without Jake Sanderson, with that massive hole, man, like, Yak can give them offense. I really do believe that. And if the power play goes cold, it's over 3 tonight. I don't know. I haven't really noticed Shabbat a ton. They haven't really been using him up top, but not a bad spot just to have him. Just to have another guy back there that can drive offense a little bit. You can call him up for home games, shelter his minutes. Just give it a go. Give it a go. That's right. Yeah, got to stay hydrated. Got to stay hydrated with these live streams. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, man, like Eric, on that power play, he's going to be perfect. It's what he does, and he's going to be a threat to shoot up there. He's going to change the makeup of it when he's at his when he hits his stride. I'm a big believer in Carter Yakimchuk long term, but I wouldn't hate seeing him soon. We're watching a defenseman who was drafted right behind him, Zeev Buyum. Now, look, I know that there's a few defensemen that were drafted behind him that have all played already, like Zane Parekh, Sam Dickinson, Zeev Buyum. But they're all on teams that don't have a number one defenseman anymore, right? Like, they don't have another guy. Like, they're not good teams. So San Jose is okay, but they're not great teams. So there's a lot of room to make errors and stuff like that. But again, Yak's not going to have to be the number one defenseman here. He might be the third. If he's the third best defenseman, that's great. That's all that matters. That's all he needs to be with Shabbat and Sanderson there. If he can push to be the second best, maybe even the best offensively, that'd be a great problem to have. So we'll see. We'll see. But I am not here for Yakimchuk slander with that team he's playing on in Belleville. I don't think they're strong enough. The goaltending issues have stretched far beyond the NHL team this season. As I say that, there's a little scramble in front, but I just, like, there's no analytics available for goals saved above expected in the AHL that I can find anyway, but I'd imagine that Levy has not been as kind to Yakimchuk's plus minus as you'd expect with his play down in Belleville. All right, we're back for the period. No, enough big picture talk here. Let's lock in for an important 20 minutes for the Sens here. Just got to not mess around with the puck. Some insurance marker would be nice, but it's a 1-0 lead here. A minute gone in the third period. We are off. Shots are 17-13 for the Senators. There's a nice play by Pinto in the middle. And out he comes. Gets a good shot off there. It's a nice save by Lankinen. And Amadio battles for it. And the Canucks take a penalty. So the Sens will go right back to the power play here. Their fourth opportunity. One of them was short, but it'll be their fourth chance. There's a lot of chirping in this game. Amadio giving it to Marcus Pettersson there. One of 3 Petterssons on the Canucks. So the Sens go right back to the power play. Michael Amadio does a good job drawing a penalty. Yeah, holding the stick. And he's got it in his hand. Like, what's he doing? That's a tank move by Marcus Pettersson. That's a guy who wants to draft first overall right there. The most obvious holding the stick penalty of all time. Back to the power play. Got to capitalize. Brady in front. Nice try. Dylan Cousins in the corner now. Brady in the corner. Gets it up high to Shabbat. Timmy back over to Shabbat. Down to Batherson. Finds Timmy up top. Shoot it. Nope, back to Batherson. Didn't let it go. Didn't let it go. Come on, Tim. Can't score if you don't shoot. Here's Kachuk down low now. Tried to go backdoor to Shabbat, and that wasn't there. And down the ice it goes. I think Brady got one shot there, but no one's unloading on any of these. And Tim just kind of turned it over in the middle there on the entry. Might have got hooked a bit or something, but second unit comes out. Underwhelming from the first unit tonight, but again, that chemistry thing, Sanderson's not out there, it's different. Shabbat's played with him before, but it's been a few years here that he's been the guy on the first power play, so maybe give him a bit of time. You could even see there was a little bit of a moment where collision at center there. Is that Giroux? That didn't feel good. Uh-oh. He's still out there. Giroux battles. There's Fogle sending it deep. Zetterlund with a good battle. Nice work. Out to Pinto. Fogle in front. Great chance. Great work by Zetterlund down low. That's what I'm talking about with Zetterlund. He does that a lot. Giroux down to Fogle. Shoots. I think that hit Zetterlund in front. That play behind the net that Zetterlund made is exactly what I'm talking about, man. Like he doesn't get a point there, but he does a great job getting the puck back and fighting through a check. Creates a great scoring chance, but still a 1-0 game. Sens can't score on the power play. That might end up being a storyline here tonight. Just one goal and 0 for 4 on the man advantage. Shabbat just took a huge hit. And here come the Canucks. Some ozone pressure. Stopped by Reimer. And up comes Nick Cousins. Or to Greg. Oh, he tried to feed that to Amadio. He was in alone. Up out of Jensen. Sends it deep. Puck's bouncing on Batherson again like it was for during his slump there. He's been fighting it all night again. Can the Sens dig in and finish off a 5-game road trip? Up 1-0 here. The more the minutes tick down here, the more you got to just be like, all right, let's just take this one home. And yeah, it's been a little frustrating offensively for them tonight, but they haven't looked as good defensively as they have in a few of these other games on the trip. Nice play by Kachuk there. And now we got a 2-on-1. Cousins and Greg. Cousins, shoot that. Oh, he tried to go blocker. That's a good save, especially on Dylan Cousins. Red hot. Oh, and Spence is going out with O'Connor. This is a chippy game for some reason. What's going on? That was a close chance for Cousins. That was a big save by Lankinen. Puck goes out of play. Yes, game's a grind. Game is a grind. Zub up to Pinto. Lankinen makes a save there. I like Cousins' decision to shoot that on the 2-on-1 though, especially with how hot he's been. But even before that, or sorry, not before that, but just in general, like when he's not just hot as a goal scorer, but just a good call. Like Greg was not quite open and just take the open lane. Tim Stutzla's point streak is on the line. He has not gotten on the board tonight. Wonder if he's got another late empty net goal in him to keep it going, or if this is the night. But they could use another one here on this shift. And here he is with the puck crossing the blue line. Gets it deep. Giroux on it. Batherson got it in the corner now. And here's Timmy. Gets swarmed there and gives it away. And they get it out. And here's Elias Pettersson, the defenseman. Pettersson, the second. Oh, and he lost it. And Matt and Paolo's got it. Wings it around to Brady Tkachuk. And he sends it right in front of the net. And Reimer gets it. He was trying to go to Matt and Paolo there. It's going to look like a bad giveaway for Brady, but I think he's looking for a little bump play from Matt and Paolo there, maybe just not on the same page. According to Sportsnet stats, the Senators lead the NHL with 11 double-digit scorers now that Ridley Gregg has scored his 10th of the season. Cool. In a season where they were, they needed goal scoring to improve. It's improved a ton. So it's a bonus, man. But unfortunately, their goaltending and their 5-on-5 scoring has just switched places from last season. Reimer's been good tonight, though. And actually, it has been a lot better lately. I still actually think it hasn't been, good. I think it's still bad by the definition, but it's just not as bad as it was, so it doesn't feel like it has been, Yeah, we got some people pointing out the lackluster play here on Twitter, but I'm not trying to say I'm thrilled with this effort, and they could obviously just have this blow up in their face and lose this game, and then I'm having a different reaction. But if they squeak out a win here, I'm not going to overreact. I think this is just a lazy game. They just got to defend a bit better. The third period's been okay. It's been okay. Low event. 13 minutes to go here. Here's DeBrusque through the middle. Oh, a nice play by Spence. That was a tap in for Pettersson if he wasn't there. Great play by Jordan Spence, backdoor. Michael Amadio fighting for it. And out come the Canucks. Spence has got it, though. Wires one up to Dylan Cousins. Oh, he gets hammered. Greg's in on the forecheck. And back in the Sens zone. A lot of regrouping going on. Matt Palo over to Jensen. In goes Brady on the forecheck. Good battle for it, and he comes up with it. He found Zetterlund in the slot. Couldn't get his stick free, though. There's a good battle from the captain. There's a hit by Chabot. Are they calling that? Are you serious? Chabot stepped up on his guy, and the Canucks will go to the power play. I kind of tripped him. I guess the timing wasn't there. Second penalty. There's the play from Spence. Yeah, 2 penalties from Chabot in this game, the only 2. The kill looked good in the minute it saw, and then the Canucks took a penalty, but it did look good earlier. But yeah, Chabot's second penalty of the night. Pinto wins the draw. That's good. There we go. Clevin gets it down. I think Clevin's having a great game. And here is Pettersson bringing it up. Oh, he's got Besser wide open down low. The Canucks are set up. Here they go. Pettersson blocked by Clevin. And he misses the pass. And the Canucks cleared on themselves. Lucky for the Sens there. And here come the Canucks up again. Minute and 5 seconds left in the Chabot penalty, and Pinto gets it down the ice. Nice work. I like this Pinto-Stutzla combo on the PK a lot. The speed, the smarts, it's great. Here comes Boyum. Greg's all over him, and he gets the puck back. Nice work by Ridley Gregg. Down the ice it goes. 30 seconds left on the penalty. Zub gets it down, and here goes Pinto. He's got some room, and Timmy's driving the net. Pinto to Timmy. Oh, it was in the middle of the air. Couldn't bat it. Not the best pass there from Pinto. Hronik up top. Oh, wired wide. All right, power play's over. Canucks still have it. Zub, nice play. And Chabot gets it deep. Whoa, who was that? Linus Karlsson there just batted that out of midair. Timmy was maybe in all alone. Here's Dylan Cousins now over to Brady, and here comes Tkachuk. Over to Matt and Palo. Shoots, it's loose. Cousins to Tkachuk. Hit the side of the net. Here's Brady again on it. Don't get anything out of it. It was a good kill, though. Good kill. Penalty kill looks good tonight. I know it's, again, the Canucks, but they're getting some good reps in. It's not a terrible power play. The 22nd, I guess, so it's notable. Most of that might have been done with Quinn Hughes on the team, but that's okay. Here goes DeBrusque with a lot of space. Another guy signed his extension after Canucks won the division, and then he just fell off. I feel for him in the sense of, obviously, he's making a lot of money, so I don't feel for him, but it's tough when you sign that much of your life away, like 7 years, I think he signed, and then everything falls apart in the first season. Like, they trade everyone away. It's kind of tough. Certainly not what the pitch was for him in free agency. Here's Boyum at the point. Good save by Reimer. 7:54 to go. Sends up 1-0. Michael Bublé, watching on, wants the Canucks to do so well. I think PK looks good. PK looks great. I like what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the forwards. What are we thinking? What's everyone thinking? Bublé Canucks fan, yep. Yeah, I don't know if I like Spence Shabbat as much as others do. I don't know if there's enough physicality on that pairing. But yeah, we'll see. I agree, Don. He's looked a lot better. A lot better. It's good. It's just simple things. And obviously he knows what he needs to do to play a good game. And like, he wasn't doing it through two. Mainly that second period was really weak from Tkachuk, I thought, but he's looked a lot better in a lot of the battles here. Lankinen has also been good here, folks. Let's not lose sight of that. This isn't the Sens going to sleep and only scoring one and going away. Like, he's made some nice saves. That one on Cousins was the first one. All right, D-zone draw. 1-0 lead. It's a 1-goal game. Canucks win it. Hronek up top. Over to Boyum. That almost got deflected in. Nice battle by Giroux on the side of the net. And a good steal by Amadio. And the Canucks have it in the neutral zone and get it deep. There's Shabbat sending it up. Doesn't get out, though. Oh, nice steal by Nick Cousins, and here he goes. Good play defensively. Good hit by him, too. Wow. Oh, and Timmy misses a hit on the forecheck there. Here's DeBrusque. Nice stick by Batherson. That was going to be a nice shot on goal. No stick for Clevin right now. He got one back, though. Sends on the heels a little bit here. Timmy with a good work. Takes a hit, makes a play, and the Sens get out. Fogel's got it. And he gets it deep. Oh, he might get called for that. Yeah, he is. Sens will go back to the PK. Fogel took a hooking penalty there. I think that's one that gets called because the Canucks player fell, but that's okay. And the PK will go back to work. Another penalty for the Sens. 6:16 left. New guy in the box. Oh, no. DeBrusque just missed that way wide. Bathurst didn't even touch that. Yeah, got in on the hands a little bit, but I still, whenever someone goes down when they get a hook on their hands, it's a little bit of a weird play. Yeah, Green not happy with that one. Lifts his stick and he falls, so he was in on the hands a bit, but like falling on a hook is like, come on, really? So to the kill they go. This is Chabot's first penalty kill. He was in the box for the first two, so let's see how they look out there again. And Greg gets it down on a face-off win by Claude Giroux. So the forward combos, it looks like they've kind of settled on Giroux and Greg, and then, or maybe like they go Greg and Amadio, but Giroux takes the draw, and then they go Pinto, Stützle for the rotation for the forwards. And they go super quick shifts. That puck comes out for the Canucks. Hronik's got a lot of space. He just missed that. And Amadio with a nice steal, and here he goes. He's got Greg with him. End of a shift for them. Amadio tried to go down to Greg. I think he could have let that go. And Greg's just going to eat this on the wall. Here comes Pettersson. Nice stick by Timmy. Gets it down the ice. Nice work. And Boyum high stick that. Nope, I guess not. 50 seconds left here for the Canucks on the power play. Here comes Rossi to Besser. Another good stick by Timmy, breaks that up, and he gets it down again. I'm loving Tim Stützle on the PK. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was saying that last season, that the next step for him is getting on the PK, and he's been awesome there this season. They kind of eased him in at the start of the year, but since he's been out there, he's been elite. You look at all the past Cup champs. I'll talk about it in the commercial. We'll see. Hang on. Let's not get ahead of myself. Up to the point here is Boyum. I think I'm saying that right too. Boyum. There's a look, but that got blocked, I think, by Chabot. 5 seconds left in the penalty. Boyum again up top. Power play's over. Canucks still have it, though, right near the net. Fogel's back out there, and here he is. Fresh out of the box. Good skating by Fogel. Nice. Takes a hit to make a play, too. Good work. Under 4 to go. 1-goal game. Good penalty killing by the Sens. It's not an area of their game they've been able to kind of rely on, so it's nice to see it look so strong. And here comes Timmy. Lots of space for Stützle. He's got a step here. Took a bit of a slash. No call. Jensen up top. Can't get it through. That hit the linesman. That's got to be offside, no? In the send zone now. Matt and Paolo battling. It's a good cycle by the Canucks right now. And Batherson intercepts it. See, like one thing that we need to learn here, and I have learned, but still when it's happening, it's hard to remember. Like the Sens have a good fallback game in their D zone when the other team gets the cycle going. Like they don't give up much when the other team cycles, and it's impressive. Here comes DeBrusque. Little too much space for the Canucks in the neutral zone tonight, but that's okay. It's going to happen. Clevin tried to pass it up to Amadio. Net's empty. Empty net for the Canucks. All right. 2:25 to go. Here they come. They dump it in. Clevin's got it behind the net. He's going to go for it. He flipped it up high. Ridley Gregg on it. Oh, he didn't quite make the play. Was that not offside? I think the Sens thought that was offside. They stopped playing. They didn't shoot in the net. All right. 2 minutes to go. Canucks have it in their own zone. Stützle's out there. He's got a few empty net goals this season. And there's a nice play by Tkachuk at the line. Sends it back down. And Besser dumps it in. Back for it goes Shabbat. Nice play to Zub. Giroux. Can't get it out. In front, nice play by Zub. But back up high. Oh, that got through. It's loose. Nothing. Timmy sends it up to Tkachuk for the empty netter. And Tim Stützle's got a 13 game point streak now. Or is it 12? I'm lost. I forgot how long it's been. But it's on the empty net. You knew that was coming. The captain into the empty net. There's the streak continuing for Timmy. Is it 12? 13. 13 games. Ties his season high. That's right. My bad. Great pass to Tkachuk. And he buries it. All right, folks. Good stuff. Good stuff. Not a win to write home about, but they won it, or they're about to. Minute 12 left here. You're going to pull the goalie again, make this look like a nicer 7-game point streak for the captain, quietly as well on that goal. 2 assists for Artem Zub tonight as well. He was great there at the end there on that sequence. You're the Canucks in the O-zone now. Still shooting away. Did they pull the goalie again? I think they did. Jensen doesn't quite get it out. It's up in the air. It's by the net. Canucks are pushing here. Holy. They do have 6 out there. 15 seconds left. And Clevin gets it out. And that should do it here, folks. And don't look now, but the Ottawa Senators on the back of a James Reimer shutout are 3 points out of the playoffs. That was not a pretty game. In fact, only scoring 4 goals total, 3 on a goalie on the Canucks this season is tough, but they also only let up 1. That's what this team does. That was an Ottawa Senators win if I've ever seen one. On the back of solid goaltending. James Reimer, shutout. How about that? First game since the one before the Olympic break. Great one for the Sens. A awesome road trip wrapped up with a tidy 2-0 win. 2 points is 2 points. Tim Stützle, 13-game point streak, matches his season high. He's 1 off his career high. Brady Tkachuk, 7-game point streak. And James Reimer with a shutout for the Ottawa Senators. I don't want to say a great game because it wasn't, but it was just a tidy one to end a road trip. That's just a 4-0-1 trip like that out of the break is so good. They're 4-0-2 since the Olympic break. The regulation, the point streak basically for the team just continues. The captain gets the empty net goal. Tidy win for the Ottawa Senators. Winning games is fun, folks. Let's just enjoy it. Stay tuned for the postcast. The boys will be here right after. I might join. We'll see. Really enjoyed it, folks. Quick note, there may or may not be a live stream on Wednesday. I'm still 50-50. And then there won't be any on the weekend because we will be at the GCP at the game for both games. So appreciate everyone joining. It's been a fun ride, these West Coast games. It's almost midnight again on a Monday. You guys are all sickos. Thanks for joining. Appreciate everyone. Stay tuned for the postcast. Danger Flutes incoming. Sens win 2-0 in Vancouver. 4-0-1 on the road trip, and they are 3 points back from a playoff spot. Thanks, folks. Have a good night. Stay tuned for the postcast.